stream. And let me just confirm we are good to go. All right, we're live.
All right, we're live. Welcome back. Thank you for tuning in to the We Got Five on It
You almost
podcast.
missed it.
Almost. That would have been a tough start.
The show must go on.
It must go on. So we're back for another week. Hope you guys have enjoyed the first 2 episodes. We're back for our third. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram and Twitter. And that our not the hashtag, but our @ is the number 5 on it pod. And please follow us. Give us any suggestions for any topics you guys would like to hear. We've only got 3 episodes out there so far, but we've done about 12, so we could always use some more ideas, get some new insight, get a different POV. So
What's the YouTube thing? It's all spelled out.
Yeah, it's We Got 5 on it, all spelled out, not one word. And that's the
spaces.
channel. Yeah.
So Ryan, after this episode, we're gonna try to get on iTunes and Spotify?
Yeah, we're going to be on Apple Podcasts for sure. I think Spotify takes like a couple weeks. They're like slower to authenticate us, I guess. I don't know.
Get that blue check mark?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But I think the Apple Podcast thing, it might take like a day, but we'll get up there. So I'm going to put all of our episodes, the past 2 plus this one, onto the hosting site, get a little one-page website, and then we'll be live on Apple Podcasts so people can start downloading. It'll be really important to rate, subscribe, review. That helps us out.
Yes,
so
it
our
does.
fake sponsors can become real sponsors. That's right.
That'd be nice.
So-
It is, and that's going to be super nice because it is kind of a bitch to have to listen on YouTube if you're not watching live. I mean, I always
Definitely.
just put it up, like,
That's what
listening
I
on
do.
the car.
That's what I do.
But it's really hard to, like, if you're working out, put it in your pocket or something like that. So that's gonna be good.
Yeah, it'll be good.
Yeah. So this week's topic is top 5 pieces of life advice. Now, I don't have it all figured out, so take this with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
But
I
this
do.
is-
Listen to all of mine.
No, I was doing my list and I was like, damn, I could use a lot of this advice that I would give people.
All right, so that's what I was going to ask. I was
know?
thinking of things. I'm like, I don't even fucking do that. Like, how much of a hypocrite would I be if I was like, oh,
I tried to, I work with, younger teenage to, so I kind of geared mine a little bit towards them, like the younger. I would say mine leans more male, for sure, just because,
Yeah.
I mean, how much advice can I give a
Naturally, it
16-year-old
will.
girl?
yeah,
Well, I hope not a lot. But
Well, I mean,
well played.
in some states I can, but
Certain countries. Yeah.
oh Lord.
But, all right, so before we start, we did say that we had our own challenges, which is why
Yes.
there's only one
Yeah.
alcoholic beverage on the table.
This is
this
brutal.
is a little kid's red cup. It's very childish. I feel like it's a punishment.
There is a kitty cup. I can grab you one of
Yeah,
those.
I might as well be drinking out of that. It's fucking pathetic.
So how's it going?
I'm drinking soda water right now and it's miserable.
For me, the only thing that sucks is it's fucking boring.
Yeah.
It really is just boring. I like to, I mean, I don't drink a ton, but when I do, I like to go out and, have a beer with my friends
Yeah.
or go golf and drink
Yeah.
on the course. And, it's fucking boring. Yeah. So
So-
anybody who doesn't drink, fucking pick it up because
Yeah.
it's a lot more fun.
Yeah.
It is. That's what I'm learning. So there was a time, it was last year, that I quit for like 6 months.
Oh, wow.
But before that, I was drinking heavier. Never really a problem, but definitely heavier. You work, I work here, and then at the end of the day, you go have a beer, and I'm the type of guy, when I sit down and have a beer, it turns into 8 like that, or
Yeah.
more. And it's just so easy, like all the beer just available, just like, hey,
That's kind of my thing too. I don't really drink to drink. I drink to get a nice little buzz going. I don't drink I don't go to dinner and go, I'll have one beer.
I've never
It just
understood
it
that.
seems like such a waste to me.
I've never understood
Like if
that.
I'm gonna drink, X amount of calories, what am I gonna waste it for? I'm not gonna get buzzed off one beer. I'm not gonna get anything. It's waste of time.
See, I'm both. I love the taste of alcohol. I love a good beer. I love a good wine. I love a good.
But if I'm drinking a whiskey, you're gonna get buzzed from just one.
Right.
You're
Yeah,
not gonna-
that's the thing.
A beer is a waste to me.
Yeah.
The only time I love a beer by itself, one beer with sushi.
Oh, yeah.
With sushi, it's like
Sapporo.
I haven't even gone to sushi.
That's
This
actually-
I go to sushi at least once a week. I haven't gone. I don't think I'm gonna go this whole
There's
month.
triggers. There's definitely
No,
triggers.
I'm gonna be in there, and my mouth is just gonna be watering. Like, oh Jesus,
That's
they got Kieran back there. Let
Yeah.
me get one of them.
That's a great point, dude. Because whenever I go to sushi, and you guys know I like drinking. I always only get one beer. I get my Sapporo.
That's
I
because
eat
you're
my 2
saving
rolls.
Room. You're saving room to stuff that
Yeah.
sushi down.
Oh, I always get more than one beer at sushi.
Really?
I usually
Have
do
you-
2 tall boys.
Have you guys ever been to like a legit old school sushi bar? Like where all the sushi chefs are drinking with you, and it's like,
No.
oh, it is so fun. I went to one in on Oahu, and
On Oahu is still technically
Yeah.
correct.
yeah, I guess I was there, and oh man, it's such a fun experience. Like,
Oh, yeah.
because it's rude to not drink in their culture, right? And so, I can't. That might be a field trip for the We Got 5 on
There
the
used
pod.
to be a Japanese place where it was on the corner of Rancho and Margarita. It was called Fujiyama.
Oh yeah, we used to go
I
there all the
remember
time.
that.
It's where
Dude.
Rosati's is.
That's where it's at. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I couldn't think of the name of it.
Yeah.
Those fucking cooks. I got one of those guys so drunk one time. He used to drink with. They used to all drink with you. He was so drunk. I was like, dude, this guy's gonna cut his finger off.
That's
because
scary.
he was because
Yeah.
he's got.
They throw those knives around.
No, he did the whole flipping and stuff, but he was still cooking.
Yeah.
After, I mean, we were doing sake bomb after sake bomb, like.
Yeah.
And he's sitting there and he's like swaying and stuff. I'm like, yes, this is gonna go good. I'm gonna eat a finger with my shrimp.
So when I quit last time for 6 months, I noticed a ton of differences. This time, nothing other than, like you said, I'm bored. My social life has gone to shit. I eat worse. The only good thing
You
about
eat
it,
worse?
yeah, because mentally I'm like, oh, I'm not having all those beers. I'd much rather drink all those beers and eat a salad than eat worse and not drink. That's for sure. But I do sleep more sound through the night, for sure. I think maybe because I don't have to get up and take a piss.
Yeah.
Is a big reason why. But I definitely get higher quality sleep by not drinking. But other than that, it's terrible.
I had
Well-
like 4 people on board to not drink with me all in the month of May, and those 4 people are all fucking pussies.
Say their
They
names.
dropped
Call
out.
them out.
Well-
They all dropped out. One the first day.
That's garbage.
Yeah.
One on
Very tough.
One on Friday. Kyle, you fucking pussy, because he said it's Friday. I have to drink. I'm like, no, you don't have to drink. I'm not gonna drink.
I will say I got a lot
What
of
else would
itches
you
on
do?
Friday.
Yeah,
I
what
was
else are you
like,
going to do on a Friday?
Something
Fridays-
about like 2 or 3 o'clock on a Friday
Yeah,
afternoon. It's
man,
like,
you're
all right, what
ready.
am I gonna do? And then you're like, oh shit, nothing.
Can't do it.
I'm gonna do nothing. That's what it's
You're
like.
welcome.
I was thinking about it. I'd rather do 500 push-ups a day and be able to drink than this. But anyways, we'll make it through it, and then
Okay.
we'll be stronger
Yes.
for it.
Yes.
And
Well, I'm not drinking, or I am drinking,
Yeah.
and I made the pledge to start running 8 miles a week. I think I bit off a little more than I could chew.
you wanted 10.
I wanted 10.
I tried.
That was the alcohol talking.
My initial, when you said 10, I said 5, and then you met above the middle.
I should have gone 6. Because we talked about this before. I had done 3 legitimate miles on a treadmill where I could track it. And I played basketball for like 2.5, 3 hours. So I counted that as
Couple
2.
miles.
Yeah, I counted that as 2. I feel like that's,
So you're gonna run 3 miles tonight. Got it.
oh man.
Just kidding.
Technically, I
Yeah.
still have a day because it was made on a Tuesday. I don't think I'm going to get the 3 tomorrow, if I'm going to be honest. But I definitely think I could get to 2.
I'll do 3 for you tomorrow.
No. I'm going to do my 2 tomorrow.
Does that mean we can have a beer for him?
No, I'm not.
No.
You can.
I'm gonna
if
get to
you'd like
7.
If you'd like to cower out and.
See, that's the thing. If I have one, I'm toast.
Now, if I do 7
7
this week and I do 9 next week,
Oh,
and
you
then
want
8 and
rollover
8,
minutes.
Can I do
Yeah,
that?
we did that with the push-ups.
Is
Some
that
days
okay?
I'm okay
I
with
had one day where I didn't do
Okay.
100 push-ups.
'Cause
I did 150 and 150.
I know there's no way I can do 3.
As long as you get 32 done in a month.
Okay.
How about
32
that?
in a month.
That app is legit.
What
Super
app?
legit.
Super cool.
I don't want you guys to feel like I'm cheating you, so I'll put
no,
it
you
on
don't.
the
No,
app.
I'm not. I'm not even
The
questioning. I'm not questioning it.
the Under Armour app.
Under Armour app does. It's legit.
Okay.
It does
I mean,
a lot. It's
the
pretty
first
robust.
the first mile I did with it, I was super slow. I ran like a 9.5 minute mile. I was like, because I was looking at it and I was like, oh, this thing's pretty cool. And then I realized it was like it starts talking to you. It's like
You had headphones.
9
in, yeah.
minute average. I'm like 9 fucking minutes. Get your. What are
You
you
kick it
doing
up.
with your life?
Fuck,
I ran
dude.
the next 2 in like 6.5.
It's pretty robust for being a free app.
I don't
No,
want to
it's
tell you
cool.
what
It
my
does
minute
elevation and
mile
stuff.
was.
Yeah, it's super
Pace, all
cool.
that.
Yeah. Okay, back at it. Sorry, that
Shall
was
we
good.
jump into
Yeah.
it? Okay, so we're doing top 5 pieces of life advice that we would give, not that has been given to us.
You want me to kick it
Yes.
off?
Yeah.
Yeah, take her away.
Okay, I have. I'll do my mentions later, but I had quite a few.
Well, you only get 5.
But I only got 5. So I'll just jump into it, and I'll go over them later on. But number 5 is going to be question things. Always question whatever you hear, whatever people tell you. I mean, that's not saying be combative, be this, be that, but take your own things, and look into them.
That was one of my honorable mentions.
Yeah,
That's a good one.
Number 4, be original. Take ownership of your own life. Don't let this is especially in the culture we live in now. People are so formed by their community, or not community, by fucking social media, by the news, by this, by that. Be your own fucking person, man. You don't have to just join one team. Like, sure, I'm right wing for sure, but there's a lot of shit on the left that I agree with. Like, don't just be on a fucking team and be so closed-minded that you can only believe in one thing. That's just, it drives me crazy, people like that.
All right.
Number 3, own a gun. Own a firearm. It is your right. You own a firearm. You automatically even the odds with any situation you're in.
For the most part. For
yeah.
the most part.
What if the gun's not next to me? Well, you can get into that later.
Well, you carry it like I do. Number 2, which is 1 and 2 for me are 1A, 1B. They're both very important. Number 2, be reliable. Do what you say you're going to do. If you say you're going to be somewhere, be there. That doesn't mean be late. Do not be late.
On time, Paco. I know you're watching. Yeah. Be on time.
Be reliable. That includes your friends, anything you commit to. Commit to doing something, do it. Don't back out. Show up and do it. Number 1, I'm going to say this is better than my number 2. You are not special.
I love that.
You are not owed anything in this life. You get what you fucking earn. The more and more I hear about these fucking pussies talking about, I am owed this just because I'm alive. I deserve this. You don't deserve shit. You deserve nothing in this life. You get what you earn, and that is it. Nobody owes you a fucking thing. And I mean, I'm not talking about tell your little kids, 5, 6 years old, that you're not special. No, you are special at that age. When you get to a point where you are understanding that not everybody's equal, there's people that are better.
Life isn't fair.
There are people that are better than you. And you know why? Because they worked harder. It's not because they have some special power other than, if you have giant size or, you have
talking about penis?
something like
I
that.
was gonna say, what are you
something
talking
like that. But other than that, you're a fucking everyday, you're nothing special until proven otherwise. So all these fucking kids that think they're special, you're not. You need to show that you're worth a shit in this world, and that's how you're going to get somewhere in life.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Rybo?
That was beautiful.
Yeah.
Tearing up.
Yeah.
Loved it. All right. My list is brought to you by.
Oh,
yeah.
damn it.
You wanna?
No, too late.
Frankly, I had a lot of sponsors reach out to me this week, so
Did you?
it's hard to pick one.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna go with Traeger.
Oh, very nice.
You did it already, didn't you?
Mr.
Yeah, I don't care
70%
though.
off.
I don't care. I got it finally. I didn't realize how much smoke that thing puts out, so my apartment complex manager is probably not going to like it. Shout out Monica. But Traeger Day is coming up. Sad to say, I don't know exactly which day it is, but I know it's sometime this week. So,
Do you listen to Dan Patrick at all?
I listen to a lot of his YouTube videos, not his
Not the
full
show. Huge Traeger guy. I think
he?
he's got like Traeger Fridays or something like that.
Oh, man.
Big Traeger guy.
Dan Patrick's a guy I'd like to sit down and have a beer with.
Yeah, Dan Patrick's awesome.
I like
Yeah,
him.
he's cool.
He's awesome.
He's old school. He has
Yep.
good takes, I think.
Yep. Not hot, but kind of lukewarm.
No, he's like a better Colin Coward.
Oh, dude,
Oh, fuck Colin Coward.
Yeah, Colin
I hate
Coward
that
can't
guy.
smell his jock.
But I mean, okay, but Colin Coward is a talent in a sense of like, he can sit there and talk by himself for
That is a talent.
a long. I mean, and that's
really hard.
That's underrated. Like that's not
really
easy.
hard.
And Dan Patrick has done that for a long time. But I like his takes and who
But he's
he
got
is.
the dinettes where they kind of chime in and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
And Coward does too, to a certain extent. But like
Yeah.
they can each go on like a 20-minute run where they're just talking.
Yes.
I like Scott Van Pelt, too.
SVP's great.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Great.
he's good.
He's one of my favorites.
Is it because he's bald?
And, yeah, it's because
Yeah.
he's bald and because he does not give a shit. He says stuff on there. You're like, wow.
Do you ever see him on? You're not on Twitter. He is notorious for just going on Twitter and spending like. I mean, I've checked the timestamps. He's on like a thread where one guy calls him out, and he'll just reply to this guy and eviscerate him for 2 hours. He's just sitting at home being like, "No, you're a dipshit. You don't know what you're talking about," and just roast
Like
the guy.
that.
It's awesome.
I don't know. Okay, number 5. Shut up. Don't miss a good opportunity to shut up. Basically, listening is more important than speaking. That is really an underutilized talent and an underutilized like secret weapon nowadays. I think it maybe always has been, but you
I like that one.
you can't learn anything when you're talking because it's stuff you already know. You can only learn when you listen. So
What'd you say?
exactly. And I just hate when you have a conversation. You can't even call it a conversation when no one listens. So, shut up. 4, forgive but don't forget. We can dive into that one a little bit more, but a lot of people, I think, assume that forgiveness is something that you give someone else. To me, it's a gift that you give yourself. We can dive into that one too.
I like that a lot.
But that doesn't mean be stupid and forget about what someone's done to you. That's going to be a good one to dive into.
Yeah, it is.
Number 3, I had this long wordy thing that I sent you guys, but basically it's have intent. Have intent for the things that you do and have intent for the things that you don't do. Have intent with the people that you're around and intent the people that you are not around. Yeah, we're good.
Can I take one?
Thank you. Or actually, the only guy drinking alcoholic.
Taking a club soda.
Hey, I'll drink enough for all 3 of us tonight if I need to.
Love that attitude.
I got no problem.
He's just rubbing it in.
That's all right.
And probably the more important side of that is having intent on what you don't do and having intent on the people that you're not around.
Yeah.
That's a good. Yeah, I like that take on it.
Yeah, it's basically
Steer clear of dipshits.
yeah. It encompasses a lot of different things. You know, the whole you are who you are
Yep,
around. And
associate with.
I had that on my list, but this is a little bit more broad. But that's what I want with. 2, spend most of your time and energy on self-awareness. I think that this is something that not enough people do, not enough people spend enough time or energy on, and to me it might be the most important thing to your success
Same
as
like
a human being.
like self-reflection.
It's part of it, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely like step number 1.
Or I got what you're saying.
That'll be
like
a good
you
one.
Be aware to the way you're coming off to the outside world. I
Yep.
got you. Okay.
Yeah, and that one kind of encompasses a lot too, so
Yeah.
we can dive into that one.
Okay.
Number 1, tell the truth. Always tell the truth, but learn how to tell the truth differently. Yes.
This one I was kind of.
Yeah, I was also.
Yeah, we can dive into it too, but
Yeah.
I got into a lot of trouble like when I was young. This will be a really good one to dive into. When I was young with lying, and
Thank you.
we'll talk about it later and the reasons why. But I learned, and this was like as I got much older, that I was just hurting myself. But lying was a defense mechanism, so I needed to learn to tell the truth in my world, but how to tell it differently. Like, I wouldn't necessarily tell you a truth the same way that I would tell him, for example.
Yeah.
And it depends on the situation, it depends on what you're talking about, it depends on what's going on, it depends on a lot of different things, but I think it's an art form that anyone should have as a tool in their tool belt.
I know we're gonna dive into that one, but
I
I got a couple things.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah.
Cool. That's my list.
All right. So my list is brought to you by Duraflame Instalight Logs.
Ooh, very nice.
It'll all come together. I'll make it full circle with my number 1.
Whoa, I
So,
I like those. They smell good.
They're great and they're so easy.
so my number 5, I think ours are pretty much the same. We just worded it differently. Be careful of the quiet ones.
I love this one. I love this pick.
Now that could be either A, the Columbine kids, but the way I thought about it, or B, the way I thought about it was shut up and listen, Because the quiet ones are typically the ones that are listening, observing, soaking it in, formulating their thoughts before they say them. And typically those are the guys that you should be worried about. And if you
There was a shooting in Denver today, right by Columbine.
Yeah.
yeah. And that lady,
Fucking pieces of shit, man.
and 2 weeks ago, that lady that idolized the Columbine kids,
Yeah, that was wild.
yeah, she got shot, right?
Yeah, I think they
They killed her,
finally.
yeah.
She was like obsessed with the whole thing.
Obsessed
and
with it.
People are fucking sick, man.
But
Goes back to mine, own a gun.
the
yeah,
other
that's true.
the other thing I'd say is you can see somebody like Dan Henderson sitting in a bar. He will be the quietest one there. Be
Yeah.
careful of those guys.
Yeah.
The guys with the loud mouths, the guys that talk the loudest, typically don't want that action.
We should try to get him on the podcast.
That'd be
he
great.
comes in here.
He would do it.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Tybo, I really love this pick a lot. You know, usually the loudest guy in the room is not the most powerful guy in the
Well,
room.
he's also the most insecure.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we brushed over that in past podcasts. but-
Big noises.
yeah.
Yep.
Oh, I'm talking louder, so I won the conversation.
Right.
Nah, it's not really.
Yeah.
Right.
You may walk away thinking you won, but everybody else at the table goes, "Nah, you're just
Those
speaking
guys also
nonsense."
learn
and that
nothing.
ties a lot into my
Yeah, they learn
self-awareness one. It's a good pick
So number 4 is say no. It is okay to say no.
to drugs.
Well, if they're free, you got to take them. Never say no to free drugs.
Dare to be.
Fuck Nancy Reagan. But saying no is an art form. And I mean that in a sense of not, oh, I'm really good at thinking of an excuse. Sometimes it's okay to say no just because you don't want to do something.
Goes back to my being reliable. If you can't do something, don't tell me you're going to.
Or if you just don't want
If
to.
you just don't want to, yeah, I'm way more comfortable with that.
Yeah. And
Like,
I
just-
think
just
a
go-
lot of people,
Yeah.
they have those, my dog's got to get their teeth cleaned. Sorry, I can't make it to your party.
No,
Dude, my
just-
party starts at 10 o'clock
Yeah.
at night. What are you
Yeah.
talking about?
The old late
Just say
night
you don't
bed.
want to go.
Yeah.
And I get it. That's fine. I get it.
And once you realize that you can do that and that's okay, it's such a burden lifted off of your shoulders.
And also, if
Yes.
you run into somebody that's like, "No, you're not coming to my party," you can go fuck yourself.
Yeah,
like,
fuck
go
off.
fuck
I just
off.
don't wanna go.
Yeah, not interested.
I just don't want to go.
Yeah, not interested.
Number 3, I call it the swing your swing mentality.
I didn't know what that one meant.
You put quotes. Is this your quote? Is this a
This-
Tyboism?
This is a Tyboism.
Okay.
So in golf, you have anybody from Rory McIlroy or Justin Rose who have some of the purest golf swings. Technically, it is just, you can't find an inconsistency with it. But you also have guys like Jim Furyk, where their swings are way different. At the end of
Yeah.
the day, the results are the same. They
Yeah.
know what they do. They swing their swing. You could take that into life. You may live your life one way, and I may live mine the other, and
Yeah, there's no right way.
There is no single way
Yeah.
to live your life. So whatever way that is, as long as it's positive and beneficial, swing your swing. Do whatever you'd like to do, the way you want to do it, as long as you're using it in a positive
Yeah,
manner.
you're progressing. Yeah.
Yes. So whatever way that is, I would
got you.
encourage every person to be themselves in a sense and swing your own swing.
Yeah.
Everyone's going to be different. You don't have to be just like it's like the keeping
Yeah.
up with the Joneses. Swing your swing, bro.
Yeah.
You don't need the Mercedes. If you're
Yeah.
driving your Kia, you're fine.
Kias are
Swing
nice
your
cars.
Yeah.
Side note.
Yeah. Number 2, treat the janitor the same way you treat the CEO. And I
This
think,
is my favorite one out of every single one.
yeah, that is
Might be the pick of the draft.
Yeah,
A
that's
quality
a
pick it
that's
too.
a quality pick. Yeah.
That
Yeah.
is,
It's my
and
favorite one.
I try to live my life that way, except for one janitor at my work. She told me I should smile more, and now I'm an asshole to her. 'Cause you never say that to somebody. Don't tell me to smile more. Maybe I'm having a bad day.
Yeah.
But other than her,
Yeah.
we literally have a janitor that doesn't speak English. Every day I see him, I go, "What's up, man? How you doing?" Good.
Yeah.
Treat him the same way that you'd treat anybody else, and that goes through all
Anybody,
aspects
yeah,
of life.
Anybody.
I don't care if you're a waitress, a guy rotating tires, a hedge fund manager. You should treat everybody with respect and dignity.
Yeah.
Because we're all humans.
Until proven otherwise.
Until proven otherwise. Yes.
That's. Well, I'll get back into it, but go ahead.
And then my number 1, which is brought to you by my sponsor, is do not set yourself on fire to keep others warm.
Another good pick.
Do not burden yourself with, maybe not, that's a bad way to put it, but I'll finish my thought. Don't burden yourself with other people's problems to where it burns you out. Everybody's singular focus should be on being a better person, and in that aspect, you'll be able to help others around them. If you burn yourself too much trying to be a yes man, or I'm going to help this guy out to a detriment of yourself, you're only going to make your situation, and probably a long term, whatever relationship that is, worse. So don't set yourself on fire just to keep others warm.
Yeah.
A lot of people get in trouble with that.
I'm guilty of that.
Oh,
And
me too.
I am
I'm
too.
guilty of that.
I am
Yeah.
too.
I think we all are because
I think it's kind of different for
we're
me
good guys.
though, also because I take pride in stuff like that. Like I take pride in being the guy that like, hey man, if you can call me, if you need something, call me.
Yep.
I take pride in that, and I mean, it's never really a detriment because I will say no. Like I will say no, but I also look at like when I saw that one, I was like, as a man in a family, like with a kid and stuff like that, I own all that burden. So I mean, it probably changes the older she gets and stuff like that.
Yep.
But
What do you mean by that?
like I think as a man, as the head of a household or the head of it falls on you. I mean, you can look at it any way you want. You're still going to be the head. You're still the captain of the ship. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
So,
I mean,
all the problems that come with that, they become your problems. And I wouldn't say that is. I'm not.
and that's
it's not
what-
that. I know what you're saying, but
Yeah.
that's the way I look at life for me. Like I think of like, it's not so much a burden to me as what I'm a state. Like I find that's a staple in my life, to be there for people.
I think there's certain people and situations that are worth being on fire for,
Absolutely. Yeah.
in a sense. But you have, I think, the real trick is knowing like, hey, I'm burning myself to like save this other person, and
Yeah.
this is dumb because the people that are worth being on fire for are missing out.
Yeah.
Because we all only have so much like energy and time and resources, and we gotta like put them in the right buckets.
It's like the overstepper people that like you go, those people that you meet, and you go, hey, how's it going? And they fucking tell you.
Everything.
And they're like,
That's
well,
the worst.
today this and this and this, and it's like,
Ran out of toothpaste.
fuck, man. Like I didn't. It was a rhetorical question. It was just a, hey, I'm doing fine.
Yeah.
Or I'm doing good.
It was just
like I wasn't really. I'm not gonna fucking. I'm not here to fix all your problems for the day.
That is a happy pleasantry. In which, by the way, like I go on Reddit a lot, and it's really cool. I go on Ask Reddit. They pose these great questions, and you get people from all walks of life. I mean, from all over the fucking globe. And the weird thing is that I've picked up looking through that stuff is it's an American only thing. It's an America only thing.
The how you doing?
How are you doing? Hey, how you doing today, man? I do that in an office setting, and they go, good. How about you?
That's it.
Good.
Yeah.
And you just keep going about your day.
Yeah.
You do that in Europe, they're like, well, I don't know you. Like, what do you mean? How's
Yeah.
my day going?
Don't
Like,
ask
oh,
me.
Yeah, fucking do my dog died.
Yeah.
Like, it's not great, but
With that said, I think obviously what you're describing is you, in that social setting, you don't want someone to really tell you how
No.
you're doing. But I think we could, as a culture, and I don't know if it's different in other parts of the world, but actually do a better job of every once in a while, like legitimately asking someone, how are you doing?
If it's somebody you care about,
Right, right.
If it's that's what I was talking about, oversteppers, like somebody who's not necessarily like somebody you would text regularly, or maybe even have their phone number. Like the people that just disclose their whole fucking information to you, like off,
Yeah.
like, this is going. And it's like, dude, I don't fucking care, man. I'm
didn't
not
ask
gonna.
for this.
Yeah, I didn't ask for this. Like I was just being nice.
No, I agree with that.
Like
What I
yeah,
would
but I see what you're saying.
now
If you see somebody that's down, your buddy, and you go, hey, man.
Well, yeah,
What the
yeah.
fuck? Yeah.
And my point is, it's gotten so like watered down.
Yeah.
Sounds like in America specifically that we have to be a little bit conscious of that. Like we're constantly being asked how we're doing, but we never really give an answer. And I think that's worse than never being asked it at all.
Yeah, very true.
So what I
Yeah.
would say is, whenever I ask if I was to ask one of you two, I'd say, how you doing, man? Good. How you doing? Good. Now, I think that question would be taken and received a totally different way. If I said, hey, man, how's life going? You doing
Yeah,
all right?
yeah.
You
There's
doing all
different
right?
ways.
There's different ways to ask it. It's
Absolutely.
just a normal thing to say.
Yeah.
How you doing?
Right.
That's normal.
Yeah.
But if you pose it, it's the same question, but everything all right? Like,
Yeah,
how's
you can
life
kind
going?
of tell too.
Oh,
like, when-
yeah, it's a tone thing, the
yeah,
words
Yeah,
you
yeah,
use.
tone.
I
for
do feel
sure.
like women are better at this than men, for
Absolutely.
sure. They're
1000%.
They're keyed into their social, like, hey, what's going on with him?
They're
I don't know.
emotional.
Like, I don't know what the fuck you talking
Yeah.
about. Like, well, he looks down.
Yeah, he seems
I don't
off.
fucking know, man. He's just
Yeah.
working. Like,
Yeah.
you just
That's a
brush,
great point.
You push that under.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. I just think it's important that we're aware of how watered down that question has become. I'm
I
not
think-
saying there's anything wrong with
I
it.
think that's from social media though too. It's like people think that they have 475 friends or thousands of friends or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Those aren't your fucking friends.
Yeah.
Like those are just, and then you just maybe you lose a little bit of that in your everyday life because
Yeah.
you're like, well, I got fucking 400 other friends to deal with. Like, well, no, you don't. Like those
Well,
aren't.
The caveat to that, I think, or this conversation is, I think there's a reason why males have such a high suicide rate
Yep.
comparatively to everybody else, is because we have that stigma of, how's your day going? You could have the worst day ever, and if even, I mean, shit, dude, even with you,
That's
like
me.
if you
That's
told
me
me,
all day long.
I would just bottle it up and say I'm fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
there is that. I think there's a
Yeah.
problem there.
Oh,
that,
yeah, for
I mean,
sure.
Absolutely.
I'm that guy.
yeah, and I am
But
too.
I think that mainly comes down to like who your tribe is, you know, because we all have the ability to bottle things up. We all have the ability to talk about things.
Yeah.
We're all on different ends of those spectrums. But I was listening to a podcast at the gym. Funny, like this got brought up this morning, and it's this guy that has struggled with depression all his life, and he's studied it. He's a journalist / scientist, whatever, and he said that in America, when people were asked how many people like do you consider good friends in your life, and the average answer was 5, and then they asked how many people truly know you, and like something like 70% said no one.
yeah,
Really?
Think about that.
so
That's crazy. Like we
I relate to that in a weird way.
We don't have enough people around us that we feel comfortable enough with just being ourselves, swinging our swing, you
Like,
know.
Yeah.
Being
Patrice O'Neill had a great little stand-up thing, and
genius.
It's like a 2-sentence line, or maybe 1 sentence, but it was so perfectly summed up. At least for me, it's like men like to be left alone, but they don't want to be by themselves.
Yeah.
Damn.
And that, like, I was like, fuck, dude, that is legitimate.
Yeah, Rybo and I had a conversation like this just recently, where it was like, I mean, you grind. Eventually, you just fucking want to hug.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You
dude.
just want to, and that goes back to like the social thing of women. Like, there's people in your life that I don't think Rybo will care if I say this, but
No, go for
he
it.
said when I was talking about Haley, I said, you know, she's an awesome chick, you know, blah blah blah, and he goes, she's one of those people where I could literally walk past 100 people I know, and everybody goes, oh, it's Rybo, you know, blah blah blah, and then she could look at me and go,
What's wrong?
come here,
Yeah.
come here, let me get my paws on you.
Yeah.
Like that quality in a person is pretty good. And I feel like I have a pretty good touch on my friends, my close friends, and I would say I have a lot higher number than that, but I've also grown up where my friends are my family. So I've always been, I'm super shut off, but when I know I have something to say, I know the people that I can go, hey man, this is fucking going on.
Undoubtedly.
Like,
Undoubtedly.
this is my, I mean, that might not be, you know, 10 to 15 people, but I have a good solid 5 that know me just the way I am, and I know for a fact I can go to them and be like, hey man, this is fucking going on. I don't need you to tell me anything about it. I just need you to sit there and let me fucking talk to you.
So I have a take on you, and it may be right, it may be wrong, and I'd be curious to hear your take on this, right?
Okay.
So you often describe yourself as closed off. You don't have
Yeah.
social media. You don't. I would say you're definitely quality over quantity kind of guy.
Oh,
right?
absolutely.
But
Yeah.
you also use the word closed off. You know, you stick to a small group. But I would say that of the 3 of us sitting at this table, you're more of a connected human being to other human beings than Tybo and I. And I think a big reason of why that is one, you're a little bit older than us. Two, those outlooks that you have that I just mentioned. Three, social media that we have, right? So I don't know how many people follow me on Instagram, 600, something like that. But I sit here and I think about like dudes that I would really like trust with something, and I can think of 6. You know,
Yeah.
So like one above the average based on science, but really you stop and think about that. It's like,
Is
damn,
your dad?
that's
How
is
many
your-
of those?
not a
How
lot.
many of
your
those are
da-
family though?
Is
Two
your
of
dad?
the-
I was
two
gonna
of
say,
those
is
are
your dad
family.
one of them?
2 of those are family.
Yeah.
my dad and my brother are 2 of them.
Yeah.
And so, like, you might have this stigma about like being closed off, but I think you're more connected to people than us.
I would agree. I would. I mean, I don't know. I would think I'm the most closed off out of the 3 of us. I mean, and the reason I would say that is being an only child. I mean, granted, I had a great family growing up, and they
Yeah.
were always there for me. But when you're an only child, there's something about it where you just have this feeling like you're on your own.
Well, plus there's a lot of things you don't tell your parents.
Of course.
There's things that are
course.
just
Yeah.
never gonna come up.
Of course.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But there is that kind of feeling where, and I know I'm not on my own, but it's hard not at times not to be like, I'm on an island, you know? Like,
Yeah.
and when you're going through some real tough shit, you need to have those 4 or 5.
Ride or dies.
And I think I'm probably right at that 5 number.
Yeah,
Like,
which is still, I mean, it's still not bad,
Yeah.
but it's just like you think about where we came from, just like our ancestors and how big their tribes were and how the definition of a tribe has changed. It's pretty wild, and it's become, talk about watered down, it's become super watered down. I mean, back in the day, you have a tribe of 300. Any one of those guys would die for anyone in that tribe.
Yeah.
No questions asked.
We're doing
it would
it.
happen.
There's a really good book. The author is slipping me right now, but it's called Tribe, and he's a
Seth Godin.
No, he was a wartime journalist, and he went
it's
to
different then.
war with a platoon of guys, and he was there for the whole time. And he said, while he was there, he'd never felt more connected to those 20-some plus guys. When he got back, he didn't understand, like he couldn't reacclimate to life because it was so strange that like the
People didn't really care.
People didn't really care.
Yeah.
And then he got into even deeper. I'm not going to give you the whole thing, but he got back and he was talking about like just people in society nowadays, like people that take advantage of the system, people that, you know, like they're not looking at it like people that go on government programs, which are, I mean, people need help sometimes.
Of course.
But there's people that take advantage of it, and they're thinking, I'm taking advantage of the government. No, you're not. Who fucking pays for that? Your neighbor pays for that.
Right.
Like, you're taking advantage of your neighbor, but they're so disconnected from the sense of community that they've just given up on, like, oh, I'm fucking the government. No, you're not. You're fucking everybody that you're living with. Like, it didn't, like, that's what they talked about in that book, too, like the tribe back in the day. Like, if you didn't pull your own fucking weight in the tribe, you were out of the tribe.
Yeah,
Right.
you're out.
You were on your own in the middle of fucking nowhere.
And
Like,
if you lied, or
and
you
that
cheated,
goes back to mine. Earn what you fucking worth. Earn what you're gonna get. The best hunters in that fucking thing, they got the best meat. If you were a slacker and you didn't want to do shit, you got the scraps.
Yeah.
And that's how it should be. Sorry, but
I agree.
mean, that's how it should be. You work harder, you get more.
Before we get off this topic, Tybo, have you ever thought about deleting all social media?
No.
No?
No, I have not.
But
Yeah.
I think I
The-
wouldn't say it's the friend thing. It's more the news thing, right?
For Twitter especially,
Yeah,
yeah.
news and
I could delete Instagram and I'd be okay. Like
Yeah.
I would be a-okay with deleting Instagram. Twitter, I mean, going back to the news, I get everything. I get watch bombs on there for NFL updates. I get, I don't know, that's
all
sports
your
related.
sports updates.
CNN. I wouldn't have known about that shooting unless I went on CNN today. I don't go anywhere else for my news other than Twitter. And then Game of Thrones. Fuck, dude. I wish you watched it, but the goddamn memes on Twitter after Game of Thrones, it makes me legitimately laugh for an hour.
Some of the
it
memes-
is so
I would
funny.
say that
it
memes,
is so funny.
Memes nowadays are such good comedy.
It is
Oh, yeah.
hilarious. It is so good, dude.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I will go on there, like, So I have to watch Game of Thrones at like 7:30 because the glare in my room's like super shitty, and I want the perfect viewing experience. Dude, I'm a
You
hard.
need to come to my house. I got fucking crazy surround sound.
You just need to get blackout blinds.
Dude, I do. I need to get blackout blinds. But I'm a hard on that shit. So I get off Twitter from like 6 to 9 o'clock, and then I go on Twitter, and I just sit in my bed, kind of just looking like this, and I just fucking laugh to myself like a maniac for 40 minutes just watching people post funny shit about that last episode, which is going to be the most devastating part because this season's been a little underwhelming.
That's what I heard.
I won't ruin anything, but yeah, I've never thought about deleting it just because I don't feel like back in the day I used Twitter, like I'd post fucking rap lyrics like an idiot. Now, you know, I'll try to make a joke here and there, retweet a sweet dunk or a good take or something like that. But it's really a lot of news.
Yeah.
And that's mostly what I use it for.
Yeah, Twitter's great for that.
Do you use Snapchat anymore?
Yeah.
You do? I never
That's how he
use it.
sends nudes to all his girlfriends.
Yep.
I must be off the favorites list.
Well,
Yeah.
it is good.
But yeah.
Yeah, I've thought about deleting it, but
I do think it's a good outlet. Like, it's a good way to connect with people.
It can be.
I get it, but to me, it just seems like, I don't know, man. Like, that's just 500 people. It just seems crazy.
It's
and there's
stupid.
people with, you know, millions and millions and people. Like, that goes back to, like, be your own person. These people look at these rich, famous people, and they think that that's what their lives are
Should be.
missing.
Yeah.
You're not missing that.
I'm guilty of it for sure. I catch myself just scrolling through Instagram and
I do too.
comparing my life, and it's just
Yeah,
I think it's
that's-
human nature.
that's unhealthy.
But the problem is
Do
like
you really compare?
not compare. I don't sit there and be like,
Oh,
oh,
this-
man.
yeah. This
Dan
guy's got it better.
Bilzerian's got 19 chicks in a fucking jet.
Not like that. I think it's more of a subconscious thing that happens. It's not like I have active thoughts in my mind like, oh man, that guy got a new car, like, and I have my
But
car. Like,
I feel like a lot of those people are fake it till you make it, though.
oh,
For sure.
80 to 90%
That's
of
a
them
fake it till, like, you're not always fucking having fun and popping bottles.
No.
You're
No.
not.
No.
You're not. Your life isn't.
you shouldn't be.
I want to see the Instagram story where that guy's hung over his fucking bed the next day
Yeah.
drinking a
Right,
Pedialyte.
Yeah. Right.
That's the real thing.
Right. I think that they're just built to be like a drug. They are built to be addictive
It
for
is.
sure.
Oh,
and
yeah,
I,
for
like I
sure.
said, I've caught myself. It's just like, what the fuck are you doing? You just checked it. Like, put it
Yeah.
down. But
No, I do
I
that
love
too.
Twitter. I just use it for news. Snapchat's more of an entertainment thing. I'd rarely use. But Instagram, I've thought about deleting a couple times. But then if I delete it, I feel like I'll get behind in the world. You know, and that's the crazy thing.
the missing out factor.
Yeah,
like a
or
little,
is
like
that.
a kid,
Like-
little kid. I don't want to go to bed. What if I
Biz-
miss something cool?
Yeah.
business opportunity. What
Yeah.
am I friend? Like,
Well,
what if you don't
to
see
that
a big
point,
life event?
have you, like, for me, I've had, you know, this last weekend's actually a great example. Friday, you know, I had to go to a funeral service, and then obviously wasn't on my phone during that. After I went on my run, then I went, had a couple beers, and then I actually called it a night at like 8 o'clock, like super early. Didn't check my phone. Played golf the next day at 8. Had our house party. Didn't have my phone on me for 8 hours or something like that because I was just roaming around. And then on Sunday, I'm like, oh shit, I'm going to have a lot of stuff to see on Instagram and Twitter. Like, I've missed 2 days worth of information
Of
and
life, yeah.
shit. And you go through it, and you're on it for twice as long. So yeah, there is that missing out factor.
I see that side of it, but for me, like my side of it, I go, fuck, that's too much shit.
Yeah, it's a
Hey,
lot.
that's too much stuff.
Now, would you say on Instagram? All right, I do want to dive into these topics, but this is one last thing I want to say is, I think everybody on Instagram has like a Instagram buddy. Now, what I mean by that is,
I know what you mean by that.
it is a person that you don't even really ever see, ever interact with, but they like your pictures, and then they'll post one. You go, I gotta throw them a little hit back. Like,
You have to.
I gotta double tap that.
It seems so crazy to me.
I know it's dumb, but it's just like, all right, they're always showing me love.
That's
I'm
our
not-
social courtesy.
Yeah, it's a
That's
social-
the new
yeah.
holding the door open.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
It's like,
It's
all right,
crazy.
man. Like,
That is crazy.
but you do that
Oh,
too,
yeah,
right?
absolutely.
I'm like, all right, I never see this guy, but he likes all my pictures. Bop, bop.
Yep.
Or this girl. Bop, bop. I'm like, all right, cool.
all
Like,
right, I could see it, but
It-
Here's a crazy thing. Like, I'll be in the bar here, and I follow someone on Instagram, they follow me.
Yep.
I like some of their pictures. They like some of mine. But they'll walk in and they won't say hi. But
Dude,
neither will
isn't
I.
that funny?
So I'm guilty of it too.
Isn't
I'm
that
like,
funny?
It's so weird.
It happened the other day, and I'm like,
What
we
the
act
fuck
like we
are
don't know each
doing?
other. It's
Yeah,
so
what the
weird.
fuck? But you know everything, every fun thing or
It's so weird.
thing I deem memorable, and like
that,
I mean,
that to me seems like a person that I would not want to follow, or unfollow, or whatever you.
Yeah, I mean, I just went through and like
yeah,
did a purge.
We did, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And yeah, but it's a crazy world. It's
It's
we get
different.
caught up in it. I'm like I said, I'm guilty of it, but it's like I got to stop and think and like check myself and be like, hey, like today I probably on Instagram like 5 minutes, and I felt good today. But I'll notice like if I have days where I'm like constantly checking it, or I mentally feel worse.
Yeah. What am I doing?
100%. It's like
Yeah.
directly
So
correlated.
crazy.
It's wild, but
Wow, that is wild.
first step, be aware.
Yeah.
All right.
What
So
do we want to dive into?
yeah, so I took a couple notes, mostly on Rybo's.
Rybo, I have something on your number one. If you want to, is that would you take anything on that?
No, I did not. But go,
Okay.
yeah, take it away.
Start from the top.
Tell the truth thing.
Yes. Yeah.
How do you
Oh,
feel
I did
about
have
white
something on
lies?
Sometimes lying is necessary
Okay.
for the betterment of
A white lie.
for the greater good. If
Yeah.
you have to tell a white lie, then you do it.
Okay. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Agreed.
Yeah. That's all. That's really I was thinking because you were like, tell the truth, even if you have to tell the truth in a different way. And I totally understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
Each person's gonna take the truth a different way, and that makes
Right.
sense. But there's a lot of times where you have to just,
So I've got
fudge
some.
it. You just
Yeah.
gotta fudge it a little bit.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, that's part of it.
Like
Go ahead, Tyba.
the typical question that we heard from when we were kids as young men, young kids. If a girl ever says, "Does this dress make me look fat?"
Yes, it does.
What do you say?
Yes, it does.
You could tell a white lie.
Yeah.
That's a white lie statement. Okay, she might look big. Oh, it looks good on you, but I don't like the color. That would be a white lie.
Dance around it.
Dance, or you tiptoe. You
To me, that's a lie for the greater good.
it's a
Yeah.
lie for the greater
You're
good.
still gonna
And-
get blown.
And there's really no like,
Yes.
there's no serious implications to that.
no.
The only serious implication is if you tell her that yes, you do look
That's
fat.
it's all bad. There's literally no positive to telling the truth in that situation.
Yeah.
She's not gonna understand. She's
That
gonna be
one,
like,
that one, I just like the. It's not a yes or a no, but it's just a. Do you like it? Cool. Do your thing.
oh, you don't like it.
Yeah.
All right, fine. I'll change.
Yeah, there's a million different ways that you can handle that.
I'm also the guy that like if you have something in your teeth, I'll tell you right away.
You should.
yeah.
Or if you have like
Your flies
something
down?
on your face, like
Yeah.
I'm the guy that's like, hey man, you got a fucking booger in your nose.
Yeah,
'Cause-
thank
and
you.
Nine people walked by you and didn't tell you. I'm
Yeah.
gonna tell you, you got a fucking
Yeah.
booger in your nose.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, I think
Appreciate it.
with things like that is you tell the truth when it's not gonna like demoralize someone. No one likes to hear that they have lettuce in their teeth.
Well, you'd
But
rather know.
It's fine. You'll get over it.
You'd rather know.
If you tell a chick that she looks fat, that's demoralizing.
You know what? One of
You
the
can't come
worst.
back from
One of
that.
the worst things to tell a person is they have a bad laugh. That
Because
is
then they're
I don't know if I've
conscious
ever
of
they
it.
told
are
anybody that.
self-conscious about their laugh.
I don't know if I've ever
So
told
that-
anybody that.
I've never thought about that, but that's a good point.
That is
You can't come back from that.
no, because every time you laugh, you're gonna be like, "Oh my god, I have a bad laugh."
And then you can't enjoy that person.
But there's also some people that you need to tell them that they're fucking annoying.
True,
Yes.
but you don't telling the truth in a different way
Yeah.
is you don't just say,
Man,
"Your
man,
laugh is."
Man, you fucking annoying.
Yeah, man.
You got.
So this one is it's an interesting one, I think, because when I think about it, it's not so much the value in learning to tell the truth in different ways is not value that you're bringing to the person you're talking to. It's value that you're bringing to yourself. And
Okay.
what I kind of alluded to earlier is this got me in trouble when I was younger because just growing up in the house that I grew up with, like, I'm not trying to play the victim card at all, but like I learned to lie as a form of it was just self-protection, right? And then I started to notice as I got older, like, okay, like that habit has carried over into other things. Like I'm making up little lies just cuz, and it's like I don't need to lie about that.
Yeah.
And
That's so funny you say that because you know those people too. People that
Always.
do that.
Oh yeah.
Like they go, you know, like
Absolutely.
something small, just
And I
something
hate it. I
something
hate it.
insignificant. Like they go, well, I went here and I did this, and then you find, and you're like,
Why lie about it?
well, why would you lie? You
Yeah.
didn't do that. Like,
Yeah.
I don't.
Who
It doesn't.
cares?
It makes no difference.
Yeah.
Like the stupid little lies that make no sense. But those people do get caught up in that.
Oh, it's
and then they'll do it.
terrible.
They'll roll over and they'll
It's-
just keep doing it, and then finally they get caught, and you're like, that didn't.
It's so unhealthy.
You could have said the truth there, and it wouldn't have made a difference.
So we, so my parents are divorced. It was not the best, and so we all went to counseling or whatever. And so I remember the counselor telling me one time. She said, "Honey, lie as much as you can get away with." And so at the time I was like,
What?
"Oh, okay, that's like a blank check for me because I
What?
like to think I'm pretty intelligent, and so I could just lie my way around things."
You can lie. You can get away with anything.
And it was when my parents were like just separated, so you know you get, "Hey, was your dad here? Was your mom this?"
Oh, fuck.
And it just became way too much to keep up with. And at like 2 years later, I was like, "Fuck this! I'm just gonna start telling the blatant truth about everything." Right? So I went from one end of the spectrum. I didn't like it, but I thought I was doing the right thing, to the complete other end of the spectrum, and that's where I kind of learned like. I need to tell the truth because I'm not going to keep up with all those lies. I don't feel good about all those lies.
Yeah.
It's not. Nothing
so
is
crazy.
good about it. But also, you can't just go up to a girl and be like, "You're fat," or you can't just.
You can
tell your mom.
It's not going to go well, but you can.
You can't tell your mom or dad, "I don't want to spend time with you right now." You can maybe in certain circumstances, but you got to learn to live with how you tell it. And so I learned the art of like. Always tell the truth, meaning be honest to yourself first, but also have the emotional intelligence to navigate your world. And if you can learn that, it just like it sets you free, and you also don't have to deal with all the bullshit of telling the complete,
That's-
like blatant truth.
That's funny
Yeah.
you say that because I was the total opposite. Growing up, and maybe not growing up, but as I got into my high school years and even early college, I was so blatantly honest. It was just like people were taken aback by it, you know?
Yeah.
And a lot of people liked it because they're like, hey, I always know where I stand with you. I know how you feel. So I do think there is some positives, but at the same time, I'm not dealing with major life moments
Yeah.
when you're in high school and early college to where you need to finagle your way through conversations and be cognizant of how what you're saying is affecting other people.
Yeah, I
And
think
that
goes
I
back to
think
being
that's kind
self-aware.
of your point.
And that's
right?
the biggest thing is, you know, I am a lot like that still. I'm still pretty blatantly honest, but I know what it now comes with. Like I
Yes.
understand.
I'm like that.
When I tell the truth in a certain way, on one side or the other, I know what I'm going to get back.
Yeah.
And so, like, the best example I have of that is, like, I'll have conversations with Haley, my fiance, and there'll be hard conversations, and I'll tell her, because she'll be like, I just, you know, this doesn't make me feel good, and I'm like, I'm okay with that. I know that this doesn't make you feel good. I still told you the blatant truth. I knew that was going to happen.
And it's not coming from a bad spot.
No,
it's coming from a place of
love.
Yeah.
I feel like
And so I'm okay with that.
You also have to
so
know
I'm going to tell you that.
Yeah, you have to know your audience too. That's
That's
kind of like telling the
1000%.
truth in
That's
the right way.
90% of
You got to
it.
know your audience. How each person is going to react to. I would say I'm probably the most blunt person,
Out of the three
but
of
I'm
us,
not
yeah, for
scared to deal with whatever that comes with.
Right.
I'm not
And
scared.
this is a terrible example, and I think we may have mentioned already, but if I was playing golf with somebody that's a little more sensitive, I would tell them something in a certain way, and I bring that up because when we were playing
Oh yeah.
in Mesquite,
yeah.
I was brutally honest. I said, "Stop being a pussy
Yeah.
and figure it out,
Yeah.
dude. Just stop being a pussy."
Yeah.
Because I knew that's what was not that
Well,
you.
that's what you know me, so you know that's how he's going to motivate.
Yeah, you weren't being
Yeah.
self-loathing, and I
No.
did do that because I knew that was going to motivate you
Oh,
to be
yeah.
like, "Yeah, you're right, dude."
And then I
Fuck
caught
that."
fire.
Yeah, and then you fucking fired it off.
Yeah.
But if I said that to certain people I know, they'd be like, "Dude, what? Come on,
Yeah.
man! Like
Yeah.
I'm fucking
No,
already
they would
having a
shut
hard
down.
time."
They would shut down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This one is very evident on a golf course.
Yes.
My number one.
Yes.
There's certain people that you can say certain things to, and
Oh, yeah.
how you say it, and yeah, it's knowing whose ears your words are going into.
Yeah.
That's a
I
great
don't-
point. It's
on
all
the go-
about your audience.
On the golf course, especially, I don't give a fuck.
Right.
How do you feel about half truths?
That's what I was going to say too. What if you leave something out?
I mean, I think once again it kind of depends on the situation, like
Yeah.
and
Like you go out
'Cause
for
that's
how big it
drinks
is.
with your buddies,
yes,
right? I don't know where you guys stand on this or whatever it is, but you go out for drinks, we're having a good time. We ended up at the strip club, blah blah blah.
Uh-huh.
Do you go home knowing? Like, I'm not saying that you have this problem or not, but I have a lot of friends that have this problem. That's like, hey man, we can't fucking tell. We
No.
can't say where we went there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have that problem.
Yeah.
But I'm okay with those guys leaving that out.
So I'm with you, and I'll expand on it a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm not okay with leaving that out because that would bother me.
Understandable.
The first
Yeah.
week that I was dating Haley, I was at a strip club randomly, and I told her.
Yeah.
And I know I was like the first week, but now that we're engaged, I'd still tell her because
No, I would too,
I don't
yeah.
want to deal with that. To the same thing, like if we went and you're like, oh dude, I don't want my girlfriend to find out, it's fine. I won't tell her.
Yeah.
She will not hear from
I'm
me.
in the same boat. I'm in
So-
the same place.
So I don't feel like half truths are the truth, because there's a reason your buddy goes, we can't tell,
Yeah, because they're
because
pussies.
they're hiding something.
Yeah.
They have
Yeah.
to hide it, yeah.
So if you are not telling the truth to be deceitful, then
That's a lie.
that's
Is a half
This-
truth? Is a half truth worse than a full lie?
no.
No.
Because it's
No.
kind of smoke and mirrors. You're kind of
Yeah, no,
No.
I get that.
But you're still leaving it out. You're still leaving it on the table that like, I didn't technically lie to you.
I think it depends.
I didn't
on-
technically lie to you on paper. If
I
a,
left something out.
if a jury is gonna convict me, I didn't fucking lie to you.
Yeah, I get that
Right.
point, but I do feel like there's that. The reason you're, I feel like that is it's an ego check.
Oh,
It's an ego check.
it's a dodge a bullet. It's a get out of jail kind of free if
And
you
I'm
get away,
not
if
saying
you
I-
get away with it.
And I'm not saying I've never done it.
Oh,
I'm not impervious
Yeah.
and I'm not perfect, but I don't think it's worse. I think a flat out lie is
Yeah.
total deceit. Total deceit.
Like if you came home and they go, "Did you go to a strip club?"
No.
No, then that's a lie. But they say, "What'd you do?" "Oh, we had some drinks. We had fun."
Oh yeah, I'm
There's
okay
a
with that.
difference
That's
between
that's
that. There's
different.
A,
I
there's
don't
a
even.
difference.
I don't even feel like
Yeah.
that's a half lie
No,
because
me
that's
neither.
technically true.
That's
Yeah.
that's exactly what I'm saying. But should you tell them? Probably. You didn't. I'm okay. I mean, do your thing. If that's what gets you out of fucking jail or
It's
gets
a
you-
tricky
yeah.
situation. I don't
Yeah.
think there's a
Yeah.
this is the way you should do it and this is the way you shouldn't.
I don't do that
Like
in
I
my
said.
own life unless the situation like you said came up where you go, "Hey man, you can't fucking say a word."
Yeah.
I'm on board.
I think-
But if I go home and it's where did you go, blah blah, blah, went to the strip club,
Yeah.
fucking,
That's how I am,
popping
too.
bottles. Like I mean,
I think if you have to lie about what you're doing or what you did to the people close to you, you have a problem that you need to figure out, either with the people that are close to you or you're doing something that isn't
I
right.
feel like this goes back to your number 3. You're spending time and energy with good people.
Yes.
Surround yourself with people that you know, not necessarily your secrets, they're taking those to the grave.
Yeah, those are just good people.
Those are people that you want to spend your time and energy investing in, because there's some things, I mean, might not even hurt a relationship or whatever it is. There's some things you just need to take to the grave.
Right.
There's some things you don't talk about.
Right.
Agreed.
And there's just,
Yeah.
and it might not hurt a person. It might not hurt the person that you're specifically talking to. It might hurt somebody else. You fucking hold on to it and you shut the fuck up.
So I kind of have
Yeah.
this I guess guideline that I personally live by, and that's if somebody tells me something, I assume that they don't want anyone else to know.
Yeah, that's a good.
It's not my news. It's
Yeah.
not my information to share with anyone else. So it could be something as little as, not as little as I got a new car or something like that. Because
Yeah.
obviously, that's
Anything that has
If
some sort of some weight.
yeah. If somebody sits down and is like, man, I got into this little argument with my girlfriend.
I killed her dog.
Yeah, I'm not.
She thought I ate too much chocolate.
Yeah,
right.
Just fucking let it go.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna go tell anyone that.
No.
And one of my pet peeves is people that are the opposite of that. Once you break that trust,
You don't tell that person anything.
nothing.
Ever.
Yeah.
And that- and
and
that
you're worried
goes-
to hang around him.
Yep.
Yep. I have people that are very, very close to me as far as like on paper, and they don't know shit.
I know exactly what you're saying, and
Dude,
I have those people too.
I used to have a guy that used to be one of my friends, and we would hang out in groups of like 4 to 6, whatever. But everyone at that table knew, be careful what you say, because this guy is going to run to the barn with it, and he's going to tell whoever, even, let's just say, terrible example, let's just pretend it's a serious thing. I'd be like, guys, you know what I really fucking hate is cucumbers. Don't like the look of them. Texture sucks. And you would all talk to be like, dude, yeah, I get it. Dude, I won't tell anybody. Like, I don't fucking like cucumbers. This guy would go, dude, can you believe this guy doesn't like cucumbers?
Yeah,
Like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah,
One of those guys.
And then all of a sudden someone
Yeah.
goes, hey, so-and-so told me that you don't like
Yeah,
cucumbers.
fuck
And it's like,
that.
what? The
Not
fuck
part
are
of
you?
that.
And it's not.
How'd you hear this?
It's not even about like having people around you that you know will hide things for you, but
No.
it provides a certain level of comfortability, like
Security.
when we go to when I go, I've been to spring training every year. You guys need to go, by the way. There's certain guys I want to invite, and it's not because we do anything shady. It's not anything, there that I wouldn't care if
Yeah.
Haley or my mom or anyone else knew.
Yeah.
But there's a certain level of comfortability, and there's a certain type of guy that I like to be around, and that's a guy that I can trust with anything.
I'm going on a bachelor party for Kyle next. You're going too.
I got to figure out their room situation.
There's one guy that's going that, I mean, I've known him for a long time, but he's that one guy that everybody goes, he's gonna fucking tell and
All
this
it
could
takes
be,
is one.
This can literally be, like not a big issue, but it's like,
Tybo was so
yeah.
fucked up. You
Well,
should have seen him. He
yeah,
was
like
fucking
that-
bumping into the
like that-
walls.
like
He can't
that-
handle his
like that guy,
alcohol.
like that guy, and you're just like, what
I
the
hate
fuck,
those guys.
man? What the fuck?
Like, dude, I was just drunk. Like,
Yeah.
goddamn,
Yeah.
why you gotta tell everybody else a
Yeah.
shit show? I was
and-
fucking at a
and-
bachelor party.
And that's what I'm saying. Let's be honest. You go to a bachelor party, you're gonna talk to girls. You're going to. It's gonna happen.
Yep.
You're in a fucking pool party. You're gonna talk to girls.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I've heard that he's like the guy that's like, fucking
Making
taking
notes.
notes. Like,
Yeah.
did you
Oh,
see?
Jesus.
Did you see that Rybo is over there? He was chit chatting with those girls for a long time, wasn't he? Was he that? It seemed like he was there for a long time, huh? I don't give a fuck if he was finger blasting those girls under the pool. I'm taking that to my fucking grave.
yeah, I don't give a fucking
Like,
shit.
I just
Maybe I was talking
not
to him.
saying that you're gonna do that. I'm
No,
just saying
I know.
you need to have those people that are like, just stay in your fucking lane.
And you could have
Stay in your
20 quality guys.
One
and
guy will ruin it
one
for
guy
everybody.
ruins the whole thing.
Yep, one guy will ruin it for everybody.
1000%.
Asshole.
Goes
Goes back to own a gun.
All right, you want to do own again? 'Cause
Sure.
I want to do this one for Rybo.
For Rybo.
Focus on self-awareness.
Yes.
I think that is. I really like that idea, and I don't want you to think I'm shitting on this.
No, it's good.
But at the same time, and the reason I bring this up is because I feel like I'm too self-aware at times, and I feel like it could be a detriment at certain points. Now, I do think it's beneficial because if you are aware of what you're doing correctly and what you're doing incorrectly, I don't think really any bad
Thank
can
you.
come out of that. But if you're hyper-focused on it, like I can be sometimes, I do think that's
I don't
not,
think you
not
are
healthy.
I don't think you are.
Oh, you don't see me after I smoke a bowl and I'm at home.
Well,
and I
that's
was
also
fucking,
that's like super introspective. Like that's
Dude.
that's a different story.
even when I'm not.
I
though,
think he's
sometimes I
talking-
beat myself up a lot.
I think
I'm
he's
not saying I
talking
do it all
more
the
in.
time,
I might be speaking out of turn, but you're talking more in like social atmospheres, right? Or just
that's part of it. I think I understand what you're saying, Tybo, and it is a fine line, but I think that this is what every single person should spend the most of their time and the most of their energy on. So I think it's super important. With that said, like
I think it's important too. I hope
there.
yeah.
Oh
I
no,
do
no.
think it's important.
But I see what you're saying. Like, I think there's a big difference between self-awareness and
self-deprecating.
yeah. That's
Yeah.
what exactly the word I was going to use.
Yeah.
It can, if it turns into you beating yourself up,
Yep.
then that's not good. But if at the same time, if you can't have an honest, I'm not saying this is you,
No,
but
no,
if you
I-
can't have an honest enough conversation with yourself and yourself can't take those words from yourself, then you got other things that you got to deal with.
I think you should be your
Totally
And that's
agree.
part of being self-aware.
you
Totally
should
agree.
be your biggest critic.
You should be.
Every single person should have themselves to check themselves. And I think you should surround yourself with friends that'll go, hey man, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
And like,
Call you out.
you need to be called out.
And you got to be able to take that. And
Yeah.
that only comes from practicing it. And usually that starts with yourself.
Yeah.
So
I do the
um,
same thing. At nighttime, I mean, you guys know, I sleep fucking 2 hours a night. You have something like, what, 50 to 100,000 thoughts a day? 80,000 of those are me at nighttime going, what the fuck you doing, man?
Bro,
So
What are you doing
I will
right now?
literally stay up at night sometimes and be like, I can't believe I tried to dap that black dude up when I easily could have just given him a handshake.
Yeah.
And he stuck out the hand and I
Yeah.
do this. I'm like,
You pandered-
God
you
damn
pandered
it,
to
dude.
his
He thinks I'm
racist,
being a
you
fucking
racist.
racist. God damn it.
funny. I mean, I was just going to say that, and I don't know where this came from, and it sounds like you guys can relate, but ever since I was little, as long as I can remember, every night before I go to bed, it's not almost, it is second nature. I replay almost every conversation, almost everything that I did, what I could have done differently. And is that a little crazy? Maybe, but I also think that it's made me resilient and more self-aware, because if you're not self-aware, you have nothing. Like, you're living in a false reality.
Well, you're self-centered. You're
Well,
you're
maybe,
only
maybe
thinking about
not.
you're only
Maybe,
thinking about
maybe not.
yourself.
Like,
Yeah,
you-
that's true.
And
It could go on either way. Either
I
side.
think we all know a guy where it's everything he does and nothing was his problem or girl. Nothing was their fault.
Yeah.
They refuse to take that for, just lack of a better term, take that look in the mirror and say,
Right.
"What, did I cause that? Like,
Yeah.
was I
Right.
the reason that this situation played out this way?" But and that's why I do think it's good, because
Yeah.
if you're able to sit back and reflect and be like, what did I do in that? What could I have made that better? Did I
Right.
cause this issue?
And that should be everyone's first question always.
Should be.
Always. That's the only way that you get better. I'm not saying that it is always your fault for what happened, but if I have something with a friend or with Haley or something and they're upset or something happens, my first thought is, okay, is this like a fair thought for them to have, and what did I do to make them get there?
Yes.
And then break it down from there. But if your first step is not self-awareness, God, you're really fucking yourself.
You're on the defensive 24/7.
It's
Yeah.
it's not good. Like,
You don't score when you're on defense.
no. And you
Well,
you have
unless
to
you're
know-
like the Ravens back in the day. But
Yeah. You got to know where you stand, how you come across to people, what makes you tick. I mean, there's so many things that go into this, and if
Yeah.
in my mind you're not spending the majority of your time and your energy, because it does take time and it does take energy, and it's a lifelong commitment if you do it right.
and it's hard.
It's super hard to
hard.
do it right.
Yeah.
But there's also those people that think they're self-aware and they're like, oh yeah, I'm looking bigger, I'm feeling bigger just because you went to the gym 2 times. And it's like, no, you're actually not.
Bro,
And-
I did that. I've been running
Yeah.
for fucking 6 days. And I
Right.
go, you look better. I'm like, no, you don't. You just feel better about yourself. You look the fuck
I think
better.
that's also
but there's
healthy in some.
There's
in
some
some-
truth
yeah.
to that, and maybe my example
I'm not saying it's a bad thing.
wasn't the
Yeah.
best.
I'm not saying it's a bad
I
thing.
know exactly
but
what you're saying.
It,
Yeah.
it's like, you think, oh man, she's such a bitch for like yelling at me. Well, no, maybe you're a dick. Maybe that's why she was yelling at you.
Yeah.
And you have to have those super honest conversations with yourself. And I
And-
think there's big seasons of life. Like, I can think about like basically like 6 to 8 big changes in my life of like how I approach things, and they take like probably 2 to 3 years to completely change. But there's like those
a habit
seasons.
of some sort.
Well, just like mainly like thoughts, like thought process, how I look at things, and if you're not constantly like sharpening that sword, you're a fucking loser.
I feel like my number 5 kind of is intertwined with that. Question things. That goes
Yeah,
in, that
it's
goes
similar.
the same. You question yourself. You question. You don't just take everything at face value. Like, well, that person's being a dick. Well, what did you do to make that person be a dick to you? And I'm the first person to say that I'm not great at it, because when somebody fires me up, I'm like, you know what? Fuck them. Like, and
It's
then
tough not
it takes
to.
me
It's
a
tough
it
not
takes
to.
me a little while
Yeah.
to come to, and I go. Luckily, I have a good support system where they go, all right, well, what did you do?
yeah, and it's not to say that you always did something.
No, and
just
it's not. And I can
that's
look
where
back
you have to
and,
start.
and you weigh out. You
Yeah,
know,
sometimes
well, maybe,
you go through those conversations being like, I did everything correctly.
Yeah.
So, and you feel better. You go, you know
Yeah.
what? I handled
I don't.
this the
I
correct
don't.
way.
I don't have any guilt in this.
Right.
They were in
So
the
I'm
wrong.
okay, yeah.
I'm good.
And the
you
more-
could
and the-
really get some catharsis out of that.
And the more you practice this, the more you pepper yourself, the more you question yourself, the more times you'll have that where,
Yeah.
I'm comfortable with how I handled that.
Yeah.
But until you like go through that, and it is,
Yeah.
it can be painful, but until you go through
Oh, yeah.
that, you're fighting a losing battle in
I
life.
would say I'm a 100% different person than I was when I was 18.
One for
Yeah.
me,
100%
1,000%.
different.
Yeah.
When I was 18, it was fucking set in stone. This is what I am. This is what you are. There's no fucking anything between. There's
Yep.
nothing. There's nothing else in between.
Yep.
And then you get older and you're like, well, fuck, that doesn't make any sense.
No,
That doesn't make any sense either.
The whole
Then
world
you just go
shades
back
of
and
gray.
you start looking at you know what you did, what they did. You know,
Right.
before it was just I'm fucking 18. I know everything in the world.
Yep.
Like,
Yeah.
So you know what's
Absolutely.
funny is I got dinner with my, or I went to my grandparents' house with my mom and her husband, and one of the things my grandpa, I forget how it got brought up. He's right-wing Republican, and for most of my life I was definitively on the left. I'm not
Yeah.
really there anymore, but
own a gun.
he used to always tell me, despite everything we talk about, and we had just fucking scrap verbally, and the one thing he always taught me was question things. Don't, whatever you see on the news, you know, stuff like that. I know what you're saying is a broader context,
Yeah.
but you'd say, whatever you see on the news, question it. Don't
absolutely.
assume that what they're telling you is the full story. And we both know, you can see the same one thing happens. CNN is going to report it in a much different way than Fox News
Oh, yeah.
does.
Always.
So whichever way you look at it, view it differently.
Yeah.
CNN, Rachel Maddow, she's not right all the time. Fucking Bill Maher.
None of them are.
Bill Maher, he doesn't have all the answers.
none of them are.
Bill O'Reilly, Sean Hannity, those fuckers don't have the answer either.
Yeah.
Odds are the answer, to your point, is somewhere in the middle. It's somewhere in that shade of
Yeah.
gray.
So on the next election night, you guys have to come in here because on the
God.
last one, what we did is on the TVs over there, there was so we have 4 different TVs, and we had Fox, CNN, CNBC, and
MSNBC.
ABC.
Oh, ABC? Okay.
And so you get to watch, obviously, it doesn't change what the hell's going on in the world, but 4 completely
Oh, yeah.
different messages being sent.
It's
It is
crazy.
wild.
It's crazy.
Wild. Like, completely opposite.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
It's the same shit happening.
yeah. When it's black, one saying black, one saying white. When it's white, one saying white, one saying it's black. It's
One of the funniest
It's
things you
almost
can
sickening.
watch on anything is when Trump finally, you know, Hillary bowed out, and there was people in the streets crying,
That's
Yeah.
full blown crying, like
so crazy to me.
adults.
It's
where
like
else are you gonna go? This is the best country on
the
the
fuck are you
planet,
crying for?
and it always will be.
And
What
there
do you-
were people saying, like,
what
I'm
do you-
moving to Canada.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, I'm not a big Trump guy. I think he's kind of an asshole.
Yeah.
But I'm not fucking moving to Canada. Are you
No.
fucking kidding
Yeah.
me?
How has
Fuck
socialism
outta
worked
here.
out for so many people?
The
You
fuck
fucking
outta
idiots.
here.
Goes back to my number one. Socialism is bullshit. You don't fucking get shit for free. You're not gonna get anything for free.
Also goes back to 3.
Yeah.
A lot of yours are
Yeah.
going back to own a gun.
Yeah. Own a
Yeah,
gun.
Own a gun.
Own a fucking gun.
Before we get to own a gun, I got to use the facilities real quick, if that's
ahead.
all right. So,
Do your thing, man.
Do you own a gun? Don't you?
I do not.
You don't own a gun?
No.
I thought you did.
I've been meaning to go purchase probably 2 guns.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why two?
One for me, one for Haley.
Oh, okay.
I mean, why not?
Yeah. Get it
Um,
going.
Yeah, I don't know. I just haven't gotten around to it. I want to get my concealed carry.
Yeah, it's really,
it's-
really hard.
Yeah,
in
it's like a
California.
3-year wait list. in
It's almost
Riverside County.
impossible.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, I was gonna put in for that and wait, but I don't know. I just need to go buy one.
Yeah, it's. I just feel like every single person could level the playing field.
Oh yeah, it's
It's the ultimate equalizer. I mean, not saying. I mean, I own a lot of guns, right? Have I ever had to use them in self-defense? No.
and hopefully you never have to.
Hopefully, I never have to. And odds are, I probably won't.
Yeah, the
But
odds.
why?
are in
But
your
why
favor.
leave yourself up to that chance?
Right.
Why? What's the?
Oh no, I'm all for it. I think that everyone definitely has a right to. I think we
It's
need
like
to
your
get-
right to free speech.
Yeah.
And I get it. Some people are not gun people. But are you a person that wants to stay alive? Are you a person that, I mean, I get it. I understand the other side. But there's never been a gun laying on this table right here that jumped up and shot somebody. It's never happened.
No.
It's never, ever happened.
That'd be some black magic shit.
Yeah,
but
it's
do you
never-
also agree that not everyone should own a gun?
Yes. 100%.
And
I
I
said no. I'd have
Yes.
a
I
problem.
think there
Yes.
needs to be way more.
Oh, are we solving gun control right now?
Well, okay,
Kinda.
I am all for guns.
Yeah.
For sure.
Me
well,
too.
obviously, it was in your top 3 fucking pieces of advice.
But I
to
also
own
agree, California has some pretty strict gun laws. I think if the whole United States did California's laws, it would suck for people that want guns, that deserve guns, and that have every right to have a gun. But at the end of the day, if you're like somebody like me, I'm okay with waiting a little bit longer. I'm okay with, there being a little bit of extra check into me.
'Cause you have nothing to worry about.
I got nothing to worry about.
Yeah.
I'm totally fine with that. But these people that are on the far right, they're like, fuck that, go in, buy a gun that day. That is not good.
That's reckless.
That's just stupid.
That's reckless.
That's like giving a child a car.
So
You don't do that.
Exactly.
We have a year.
Do you think-
we have 16 years old when you can drive? Why do we do that? Why wouldn't we let everybody drive? If you think every single person should be able to just go in and buy one, you're fucking stupid, and you're taking a stance and you're not being original. You're just fucking picking a side and going, this is what it is.
Being closed-minded.
So, are you in favor of outlawing gun shows?
Well, those are just loopholes. Those are just
But it's the same
Well,
thing you
no,
just
I
said.
don't
Those
think
are
you
just-
should get rid of
no,
gun
because
shows,
there's
but
people
you
like
can-
me that go like, I want to go to a gun show and look at outdoor stuff. I want to go look at and there's stuff like that.
But you have the ability. So, all right, let me rephrase it. Should we outlaw the ability to buy a gun on the spot at gun shows?
See, the problem.
Because that's the whole point of it.
Well, the
right?
problem with
you see a
that-
gun you
the-
like, you want to take it home and buy it.
Well,
For
the,
most people,
the problem with those things is cash. Cash is king. If I got cash and I'm
It's
at
too
a
big
gun-
of a business.
It's too big of a business. Yeah.
and that's when I would go. And I know I'm gonna sound like a lefty here, and I don't totally agree with it. But what's more important, cash or lives?
I'm all for. Like,
And
if
I'm
they-
not saying every person
okay.
that shoots up a school is buying it from a gun show. I'm not that
No, they're
ignorant.
there's, no. Most. I mean, well, we can also. I mean, there's so much that goes into that. There's a lot. That's
course.
a, that's a whole. That's a
I
whole
know.
fucking thing.
I know.
But I would
I
be
know.
completely fine with there being gun shows, and those people being there with their store. Whatever. Turner Outdoors is there.
Yep.
And they go, these are the guns we have. You can come to our store.
Yeah.
And yeah,
I'm totally fine with that.
Yeah, that'd be great.
I'm totally fine with that.
That'd be great.
To me, I think
Any-
there needs to be a national protocol or national system that you have to go through to own a gun. And to me, the big things that need to be included to that is obviously one, a background check,
Mental health.
Yes.
a psychological evaluation of
Yeah.
some sort. How you do that at scale, I don't know, but it's something.
My biggest one that I would
And
say.
then gun safety.
Well, gun safety they do a pretty good job in California. Not a lot of other states, but like if you went in, you don't own a gun right now, you would say, I want that 9mm handgun. You're not touching that gun for 21 days. You have to take a handgun safety course.
Okay.
When they give you the gun, you have to show them, or they'll show you if you're new, goes into the gun safety. This is how you use it. This is how you put a safety on it. This is how, and every gun that you buy comes with a safety. You have to buy it. It's part of buying the gun.
Right.
Like that's a cost. And my biggest thing, I would say, what medications are you on? That should be checked 100%.
Cialis.
If you're on boner pills, if you're on any sort of antidepressants, you're not allowed to own a gun.
Ooh, that's tough, dude.
That's interesting.
That's
You're
a lot
not
of
allowed to-
military
I'm-
guys.
Well, okay. I also don't think they should be giving those to fucking those. That's a whole nother fucking story. Give them weed. Give them weed.
Good luck keeping them.
Give them weed.
Fucking
That's big.
military guys
well,
away
that's
from having
no,
their
that's
guns.
that's big pharma. That's fucking bullshit. What they're doing to people, but for sure, you should.
Some
If
guys
you're
probably need it.
Yeah, I mean in doses, and doctors are passing it out like fucking Skittles though.
And I guess my point is, none of us three are going to sit around this table and figure out the right
No.
way to do it.
No, there is no right way.
Because there is none.
I don't think
there is
there
none.
Yeah.
Do I think a rational thing is to take everybody's guns?
No.
Fuck no.
No, you're gonna have a war.
Fuck no.
Yeah.
1 in
But-
6 Americans are on some form of antidepressant.
Sorry,
Damn.
I can't own a gun.
That's
yeah,
interesting.
yeah.
I mean,
I
I
don't know if I totally agree
You can
with
look
that,
into
but
every single school shooting, every single mass shooting. All of those people are on fucking some sort of medication.
You know what?
Well-
you know what the other people that didn't shoot up a school that are on medication would say? I'm not him.
Yeah.
Well,
I-
true.
I'm okay.
True.
I think that's a tough generalization to make.
Well,
I think it's tough.
okay.
I think that people that are deeply, like, psychologically
Imbalanced,
depressed
yeah.
should. I'm with you.
You shouldn't own a gun.
But there's a lot of people that are functioning good people that are on low doses of antidepressants.
Okay, yeah. So there would have to be some sort of
Threshold.
checks and balances or threshold
Yeah.
or whatever you want to call it. But yeah, I get it. We're not solving it here. But I'm the first person, obviously it's on my list, own a gun. But I'm also the first person to go, we could do a lot better.
Oh yeah,
We
have
could do
to.
a lot better. We could do a lot better.
What's the point of the 21 days? Like,
It's,
really?
it's called a cooling off period.
Okay, what is that really like?
So if you want to kill
accomplish?
your wife, you walk in and you can get a gun that day, and you're
Oh.
super irrational, and you go, I'm gonna go home and fucking shoot her. You get 21 days, maybe 3 weeks. She'll
Got
give you a
it.
blowjob and she'll
Okay.
fucking settle
Well-
it down. You know.
That makes sense. I mean, it's not the most effective
shot- a
form,
shotgun-
but
Maybe,
No,
maybe,
but
may-
it-
maybe that gives the guy 3 weeks to figure out
That's
where in
something.
Borrego he's going to bury his wife when he shoots him.
Yeah.
Or
I mean,
her.
well, yeah. I mean, it's a measure that they've put in, and I'm fine with it. It's better than getting it that day.
I
Yeah,
agree.
it's better than getting that day.
I agree.
And also, some of that 21 days goes into your background check. Some of that goes into, other things that, they can look up your,
Yeah.
if you've been on a list or, whatever it is.
in my mind, what's really, I mean, at the end of the day, I do believe that people kill people, not guns.
Yeah.
But what's really stopping this conversation from making progressive steps forward are the extreme leftists that say we're getting rid of all guns. All guns need to be
not gonna
gone.
help.
And then the extreme rights are like, there needs to be no policies. There needs to be no, changes to the laws. There
That's
needs to
crazy.
be nothing like that. Like, you guys are the reason why this shit keeps happening. I'm sorry. Like, you can't blame just one or two groups, but
Bro,
we can't even have a conversation because it's just either like, nope, no guns at all, or fuck you, there's no
I
regulation
feel like
at
that's
all.
all politics right now, though.
Yeah,
But
it is.
every-
It's very
every-
divisive.
I
but
think that's what we see. I would say that 80% of people are in the middle and
On
are like
everything.
you and
On
Yes,
everything.
Yeah, on
and then
everything.
everything.
And then
Yeah.
there's maybe even like just 5% on either side that are just like idiots
Yeah.
Well, it's fucking old people.
and really young people.
And really young
Well,
people.
yeah, and okay, yeah,
Yeah.
the old people lean further right, and
Yep.
they fucking are getting crazier and crazier.
And you
but
get
the
Antifa
but the
in-
left has gone
way
fucking
left.
off the
And that's
fucking
why
off
I'm
the
like,
radar.
that's why me personally, I'm
Yeah,
like,
off
yo,
the
yo, yo,
radar,
yo,
yeah,
yo, yo,
off
yo.
the radar.
I'm not.
Like the whole thing. The free speech thing. That blows my fucking mind. That people. Okay, so they're all for free speech until it's something that's going to hurt my feelings. Well, that's the whole idea of free
You
speech.
fascist!
That's the whole.
You're a fascist!
This is the whole idea of free speech. That you should be able to say whatever you want, even if you don't agree with it.
You know
and
what's
they
crazy?
go, well, that's going to hurt Jimmy's feelings because he's different than you. Good. Jimmy doesn't have to fucking listen.
Yep.
Jimmy does not have to listen. Anybody you don't like, if you don't fucking like me right now, turn it off. You don't fucking have to listen to me.
I don't know if you remember this joke from when we went to Tom Segura a little while ago.
I was really high.
Yeah. I think all
Yeah.
10 of us that
Yeah.
were in attendance
I was
were
really high.
not sober. But he had a great joke. He goes, basically that same premise, he led up the joke with, people are too sensitive. He goes, you know what I would do if my daughter came up to me on the playground and said, Daddy, that guy over there said something really mean to me. And he goes, you know what I'd say? Stop fucking going over there.
Don't go around that guy.
Don't go around him.
Yeah.
It's not that hard.
Yeah.
It's really not that
That's
difficult.
exactly what I tell Elle.
It's not that difficult.
She goes, well, so and so was being mean at school. I go, don't fucking hang out with him.
Yeah, don't hang
Right.
out.
Don't
And
be around him.
Now, granted, it's a joke, and I understand that some people are going to be
Yeah, but it
there
makes
and
sense.
you can't.
Yeah.
It does make sense.
Yeah.
People, but I guess my point was, is people are so eager to be offended.
Well, they're
nowadays.
just
waiting.
The
They're
problem
waiting
is
to be offended.
we reward victims. We are looking to reward, oh, that person had this thing said about him. So the fuck what?
And you know what that sucks? The reason that sucks, in my opinion, is there are legitimate victims in the
Yeah.
world
that get that get washed out.
and it takes away from. There's so much white noise where it goes, I'm offended by a word, as opposed to something was done to me or something legitimately traumatic happened, and that's not just. I mean, I'm using the same word twice, but it whitewashes everything.
Yeah.
It's. I don't know what to be offended by. Like when baseball, they changed it from the disabled list to the injured list.
Oh, Jesus.
And it doesn't bother me that much.
But it's stupid.
It's dumb.
Yeah,
it's
it's
dumb,
stupid.
dude. No
It's
one,
stupid.
no guy that's watching baseball when they go, CC Sabathia went on the 15-day DL. No one goes, oh, that guy's a,
He's a-
cripple. He's a
yeah,
cripple. No one thinks that.
Yeah.
No one thinks that. But we're so politically correct now. It goes,
That's
we can't
horseshit.
say that anymore. It's got to be the injured list. He's injured. He's not disabled because there's nothing wrong with disabled people.
Yeah.
And I agree. There's nothing wrong with disabled people. But I wasn't thinking about disabled people when he said, oh, he's got a fucking left elbow strain. Who gives a shit?
Yeah, it's fucking stupid.
Well, I
It's just
think we've
It's too
That goes back to
far.
the
too
thing of
far.
like you said earlier, like you said you gave a black guy a dap or whatever, and instead of going,
Give him a handshake.
give him a handshake. But also, you're not a racist for doing that. You're not a racist, and that's the thing. Like that people are jumping on, like kind of the reason why Trump won. You go,
Absolutely.
if you don't like Hillary, you're a racist, and then you go, wait, no, I'm not. I'm not a racist.
No.
Maybe every racist did vote for Trump, which is probably true. Maybe. But
You could probably
I
make
would
that
say-
argument.
no,
I could probably make that
okay,
argument.
That's fine.
But
that's fine.
to lump all of
but
them
to
into
say,
the same.
but to say,
that doesn't mean he's
just
racist.
just because you voted this way or you voted that way,
Does
you're
not.
a racist or you don't believe in free speech. If you're not, this and that, it's like, get the fuck out of here. Everybody's in the middle. I don't give a shit what team you think you're on. If you sat down and took a fucking lie detector test and you went, how do you feel about this? You're fucking lying. You're lying about that shit. You're fucking stupid.
I mean, the problem to me is that we reward reaction. We don't
Well, it
reward
gets a-
problem solving.
It-
And as far as on the mass scale of media,
Yeah.
I still think that there's more good people than bad people, and there's that 90% in the middle that want to solve problems.
Do you think there's
They
more
wanna look-
stupid people than smart people?
I mean, that's hard to. My next question would be, how do you measure
I'll say
that?
no.
I
You
think
think there's more intelligent?
Oh no. I'm sorry. I got that crossed
Yeah.
up. Yeah,
You
I think there's way more
I
dumb
think
people
there's
than smart
way
people.
more dumb people than there is people that actually look into each thing that they're going after and go, I'm gonna formulate a intelligent thought behind this rather than just jumping on a side. I think there's a lot more stupid fucking people.
Okay, so I agree with that. The way like our standard is,
Yeah.
then I mean that sounds very elitist, but it just is what it is. Like there's more stupid people. So, that percentage that I talked about earlier, like the 90% in the middle, maybe it's like 80% in the middle that truly, whether they're intelligent or not about how they go about it, but they truly want to at least solve problems in their lives. They're not just, I didn't get invited to Christmas because I'm more brown than the rest of my family.
I think there's a difference between stupid and arrogant.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of stupid people that aren't arrogant and are stuck in their ways, and they're willing to have a conversation and meet in the middle.
Yeah.
I don't think those are mutually exclusive.
Yeah, that's
I also
kinda
think
what
there's a lot of people that are just too busy to look into it.
Dude,
Yeah,
I don't
absolutely.
know all the policies that
Yeah.
Trump's passed.
I think there's just a lot of
I-
people
I
that are
don't
just
know.
too
Or
busy
Obama.
to go, I fucking worked all day. I'm going to go home. I'm going to, do this, and they don't want to fucking deal with it. Which is fine too. Stick your head in the sand. Ignorance is bliss. Stay out of it.
I stick my head in the sand in a lot of ways. Like I like to stay, abreast of things going on, but I don't sit there and watch Fox News or CNN or any
you
of them.
can't. You can't do
Yeah,
it.
It's
that's-
just poison.
You can't.
I'm the same way. That's one of the things my father kind of taught me, or not taught me, but kind of instilled in me just through listening. He goes, he's a world history AP government. He knows and understands the functionalities probably better than most people.
Oh, yeah.
But he's in it, but he's not, watching CNN every
Yeah.
morning when he wakes up.
Right.
because he goes, you know what? This shit just frustrates me.
It's poison.
Because
Yeah, it is.
nothing,
It's poison. Yeah, it is.
nothing ever gets solved. It's just banter at this point, and especially in this day and age. And I'm not going to say it's solely because of Trump. I think he does play a part in it with his recklessness, the way he's got those Twitter fingers. Yeah, but I do feel like that adds some divisiveness, and that's not healthy. And to
No.
be able to take a step back and be like, you know what? There are key issues that I need to be tuned in on, and there's all this fringe stuff that happens.
White noise.
Yeah, and I don't need to be involved in that.
Yeah.
I don't need to understand why this is a bad move, because you know what? At the end of the day, my life is not going to be affected one way or the other. My life has not changed from Bush to Obama to Trump. It really hasn't. My style of living has stayed completely neutral.
Bill Burr had a funny joke about that
It's-
when he was talking about like right after Trump got elected, and he was talking about people crying and shit. He's like, "How many fucking times did Obama come to your house? Like how many?" He goes, "Do you think Trump's coming to your house?" Like,
Fuck
no,
no.
they ain't gonna fucking. He's like, "You're still gonna go to work.
You'll
You're
be
still
okay."
gonna eat. You're gonna be fine. Like, just stop fucking crying."
There's a great South Park episode when Obama got elected. They did like an episode on it, and it was like Obama versus McCain, and they were like fighting, and it was literally like when Obama got elected, all the other people went in a cave because they thought the world was going to end, and all the Obama people were just partying their ass off. So one of the guys who was rooting for Obama, you know, he goes out there, he's partying, his pants are off. He's like, "We got change! We finally got change!" He goes up to his boss, he goes, "Fuck you! Obama's the president, we're getting changed." And, you know, he wakes up hungover the next day, and his kid comes up, he goes, "Hey, Dad, your boss called, he said you're fired." And he goes, "I thought we had change! I thought we had change!" Like, nothing's gonna change
it's not
overnight,
gonna
man.
change.
Like,
Yeah,
you know,
that's
it's fucking, it's great.
There's way too much weight put into who the president is.
Yeah,
There
it's
really is.
nonsense.
I think.
I want to jump off of politics and
Yeah, let's
jump
do that,
onto
please.
Rybo's forgive and not forget.
Yes.
Mainly just because I am awful at this. Awful,
At
awful.
Forgiving.
Yeah, I'm awful.
Yeah.
I'm awful at it. I hold a grudge for a long time.
So I used to be too until I started looking at it selfishly, and I'm still not the best at it because it is hard for me because I don't forget.
I never forget.
Once you do something to me, I just won't forget, and I treat you differently. Not in the sense of like I'll be an asshole necessarily, but like I said, there's people on paper that should be really close to me that know nothing about me because I don't trust them.
Yeah.
I'm still nice to them. I still see them often, but they don't know shit about me. So I started looking at forgiveness less as like if Tybo did me wrong, let's just say. I used to look at it as that fucker doesn't deserve my forgiveness. Screw him. I held on to that, right? And then I started looking at it like, nah, that's so backwards. Like forgiveness is a gift to myself.
Yeah.
And the not forgetting part, that's how I get him back.
Justify it.
Right? Because I'm going to treat him different for as long as I know him because of
Yeah.
that, whatever he did to me, that big bad mean Tybo. But once like I was like, it's not a gift under their Christmas tree, it's a gift under mine, it made it a lot easier. And it's just like, and it's kind of just a decision, like, yeah, I don't know what was going on in his life. I don't know why he did what he did. I don't try to over-justify, but I just make the decision, like, I forgive him. I'm not going to worry about it anymore, but I'm not going to forget what he did. So I don't know.
I would say I'm on board with getting it off your chest thing. But this goes back to my number 2, like being reliable. I think my being reliable thing is mainly towards friends. Like it's a friend thing. Like
It has to be, otherwise you'd go crazy.
yeah.
You go
No, and I hold very low standards for. No, I don't. I shouldn't say that.
No, you don't.
I hold
You're
very
full of shit.
I hold very high standards. No, I wasn't gonna say for my friends. I was gonna say for strangers. But
That's
I think
upset.
the same way for a stranger. You should carry yourself the way you should carry yourself, and that's the way that I think you should do it. Is that wrong? Probably. That's putting my values onto other people, and I understand that's wrong. But at the same time, I feel like when I'm not going to text you and say, "Hey, man, I forgive you." Like I'm
I don't think that's what Ryan's saying either.
Yeah, I don't do that. The act of forgiveness, because I used to think that too. Is like, okay, I have to have this powwow with them in some way or another and let them know that I forgave them. No, fuck that. They don't deserve that.
See, that's where I was
But
getting at.
I just have a mental conversation.
I do.
Okay.
I'm fine with that. Yeah, like
Yeah.
I mean, it's gone. It's over with. But I'm just not gonna fucking talk to you anymore.
Yes.
Yep.
Like I'm just not.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna radio silence you, and when we cross paths, and we don't have to fucking talk to each other.
Oh, dude, I got to deal with one of those.
Yeah, that's how I am.
Well, I think it depends on the situation and the person, right?
Yeah.
Because like, there's people in my life.
Most
that,
of mine are all family.
Yeah, and I think a lot of times it is.
Yeah, most of mine are all family.
Yeah, maybe not a lot of times, but I know in our
Yeah.
case it is, and
Yeah.
probably in yours in a lot of way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, family I've never really had a problem with. I've been blessed with a really good family, and I've never really had to be like, I forgive you for this.
Yeah.
Well, I guess that's not necessarily true.
There has to be something. I mean, whether it's
All right.
big or small, you know.
I think my problem is that I hold.
I'll talk about this if I can get another beer.
I hold my.
You don't have to. I'm just saying, like,
No, I hold.
I think it's
hold
good, though.
my
I think it's good.
like I hold my own personal values to the person I care about. If I'm willing to do this for you, or I'm not necessarily do something, or just the way that you approach your things that relate to me, I'm gonna hold you to a standard. And if that standard is shit on or not taken into account, you can go fuck yourself.
how extreme does that go?
It goes pretty extreme.
In the sense of like, how far does that reach as far as what you expect out of them? Because
I expect, out of my good friends, I expect the world.
no, I guess what I'm saying is like, so you have your beliefs, you have your thoughts about how things should be done, how the
Yeah.
world should work, how a human should operate. Do you think that someone needs to fulfill those 100%, or is there just like certain like pillars in your life that you expect from your friends?
No, I have like a couple things that drive me fucking crazy, for sure.
Okay, so it's not everything.
No, it's not little things. It's not like anything like that. It's more just like, you knew you did something wrong. And I think my big thing is too is how you approach doing something wrong.
Yeah, we all fuck up.
How you're gonna fuck up. I'm gonna fuck up for
Yeah.
sure. I'm gonna let people down. If I let you down in a real way, and I feel like I jeopardize my own moral compass, I'll tell you, dude. Like,
Yeah.
hey, man, I fucked this off. Like, and I understand if you don't want to talk to me anymore. I'm okay with that. I'm gonna take the consequences. It's the people that don't
Own it.
own it. Like that was on my list of mentions, is like, live up to what you did. Take ownership of what you did. Like, if you did something wrong in your life, fucking own it. Like, you did that wrong. It's the people that dance around it and, you know, try to justify
and that's what bothers
any
me.
sort of justification for what you did and why you did it. That doesn't fucking matter. All it takes is dude, I fucked up, man. I'm sorry.
That was one of my honorable mentions was say you're sorry.
Yeah.
We've talked about that
Yeah,
ad
yeah.
nauseum,
Yeah.
and it's still really good. But I've had that guy that used to sit in that circle.
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, and I'll tell that story. I'm okay with that. My ex-girlfriend and we were broken up for a while, and there were some things that happened, and you know, her and I talked again, and she told me, she's like, hey, this guy was texting me stuff about you.
That's a slippery fucking friend. That's a sneaky fucking piece of shit. Everybody knows that guy too.
And he was being a little shady, and by a little shady, I mean a lot of shady, and saying a lot of weird things. And then she showed me the text messages. She showed it to me.
That's the swoop in guy.
She showed them to me, and I go,
Was he a close friend?
Yeah.
I would say, yeah, he was a good friend. Now, granted, would he be the first guy I called for anything? No, because he had his quirks, and I just knew that he had those tendencies before. I just never thought it would come back on me. Maybe that was just being idealistic. I don't know. But I saw that shit, and long story short, we were playing in the fantasy football, in my fantasy football league. This happened I found out like right before the playoffs started. So we go in, we end up playing each other in the championship, and the winner got I think it was like $1,100, and the winner got double their money back, $200. So I won, thank fucking God. I beat him. So I took my cash.
Wasn't about the money.
I took my cash, and so I just kind of ghosted him, lack of a better term. And he would consistently text me, go, "Hey man, can I get my $200 back?" And I had a lot of, internal battles. I'm like, is it right to pay him the $200 despite the fact that he was doing?
It's a bet.
No, fuck that. I never paid him. Because fuck that. At that point in my life, I was like, I'm not doing that, because a true friend would never, ever do that. Ever do that. Despite whatever. And I never treated him, in a way that would bring him down. And granted, I mean, we had our falling out, but the forgive but don't forget thing right there, to this day, is still really hard. And I have to go to a bachelor party. I haven't talked to him since then. He's going to be there.
And he knows at this point.
He knows at this point. We're in the same Facebook group. He knows. So I'm still at odds on
No,
it.
he knows what you know, right?
He's got to at this point.
Okay.
He has to.
Gotcha.
He has to. But I don't know how I'm going to handle that situation when I see him.
How long did you know him? Or
Since
have you?
since I was 17.
Oh, wow. That's a long time.
It was like 7-8 years that we had known each other. And he had gone through points where there were times where he'd cock block guys, which, okay, you're a cock block, whatever. I'm not going to,
Social pet peeve.
it's a pet
Can't
peeve.
stand fucking the swooping guy is like the biggest
And-
fucking dirtball there is.
And, he was just always a cock block to me. But I got the swooping vibe, or just like the shit I read on those text messages. I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe this guy's saying this shit about me. Like, this is incredible.
So he was just talking shit about you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Damn.
And so now I got to see him at the bachelor party that I'm going to in, 2-3 months. And I really don't know how I'm going to handle that.
No, you
I
just
think
ghost him.
Yeah, but then it's going to be weird for everybody else. So I'm trying to be cognizant of, it's not my time to have that conversation or, do this. It's not for me. It's for so-and-so. But yeah, the forgive and don't, that's really hard for me, because I can do that for a lot of people, but there are certain situations where I don't know how to handle that.
I think more what you're getting at is don't let it don't let it ruin your day.
Yeah, absolutely.
Don't let other people ruin
If
your
you're
day.
carrying around that baggage more times than not,
Yeah.
then you need to let that go.
If
it's brought up every once in a
Yeah.
while, and you're like, man, you still get that pit in your stomach or
Yeah.
that feeling in your heart. I think that's just natural. That's human nature, and that's okay. I think that's like part of our defense mechanism. We have to have that. It's
That's
healthy.
kind of why mine were so hard for a long, long time, is because they're family.
And
Oh, those are
you,
the worst.
And you can escape it, but you can't escape it. But the older I get, it's so much easier to just go, I don't fucking care.
Yeah.
I don't fucking care.
Yeah.
Like I just have to. I can't let this keep coming up and keep letting it ruin my fucking day.
Right.
So now the older, I'm like, fuck it, man.
See, it's a selfish thing. But
You
it's a
did
healthy
you did
selfish
this.
thing.
Do your fucking thing, man, or do your thing, girl, or whoever, whatever it is, and just go. All right, you made that choice. This is what you live with.
Right.
And I mean, I wouldn't say I'm a line in the sand guy for sure, 100%. There's a line in the sand. It's
That was
far
my
back.
line.
It's far back. It's a far back line. But as soon as you get over that fucking line, you might as well you're done.
Not exist.
That's it. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
should I give him the $200 when I see him and just say, fuck off, don't talk to
but
me?
you give it in pennies.
I was going to do that. You know what I was going to do? Is I literally called Chase Bank. This is how petty I am. I called Chase and I said, how quickly can I get $200 in pennies? They said, well, you'd have to go to a couple different branches because we don't carry all that. And I'm like, I'm not going through that much trouble.
I would.
What I was going to do...
Then he wins.
Then he wins. What I was going to do is put all his money in a big cardboard box, all the pennies. I'd put the box down first, dump the pennies in, but not close up the bottom. So when you try to pick it up, they would all just...
No, what you do is you get those.
I should have done that. I
you get
still feel like I should have
You
done
get
that.
those text messages, you print them out, picture of them, and you put the money, you put each dollar bill on each text message, and you just put them like that.
Do you have screenshots of them?
I do not.
You could probably
She
get 'em.
showed them to me like in person. I was just scrolling through and reading them.
Do you think
Yeah.
she would give them to you, or do you think she even still?
Probably
I
doesn't
don't
have
know
them
if she-
anymore.
I don't know if she still has
That
them.
would be the best play.
That's probably way too much effort. Though.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a
That's
lot.
kind of
But
that
it's
kind of
awesome.
I think I might
defeats
just
the
give him.
purpose.
awesome, though.
I think I might just give him the 2 bills and be like, dude, I don't
Yeah.
even fucking need this. Like,
I think
you can
there's-
have it.
I
You're
think-
a cocksucker. Don't ever reach out to me again.
Yeah.
But here's your
I
2
think
bills. and
that's what I was gonna say. I think
we're
there's
good.
value in the person knowing, like if you know for sure that you didn't fuck up. Granted, I've done my fair share of fuck ups for sure, but there's some things that you know, like I didn't fucking do this. Like
Yep.
this is not my fault.
Yeah.
This is not in my fault. And there's a good thing that happens to you that you know that they know they fucked up.
And that's kind of where I'm coming
That's
from.
what I'm
I
saying.
think if I give them
they
those 2
know that
bills,
they fucked up,
I'm
and
just gonna
that's
be like,
worse than you going, I forgive you.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like they have to know why you're not talking to them. They have to know exactly what they did, and they go, well, fuck, man. I mean, or you're a super sociopath and you go, I didn't do it. You know, like that.
Yeah.
And I've been that person. I've been the sociopath person where I go, this is not my fucking fault. Like, I'm not,
Right.
I'll die on this hill. But then you look at it later on, you get older and you go, the fuck, man, I probably fucked that up a little bit.
That up.
I think once again, I think it goes back to situation, who it is.
Yeah.
If I have to put forth a ton of effort and pain, for lack of better terms, to make sure that they know that I know that they fucked up, I'm not gonna do it. If
Well,
it's easy,
If they know
I
that,
do it all
I
day
feel
long.
like those people know though. I mean,
Yeah.
the people that know they did it, they go, well, I did that.
Yeah, just kind of.
Yeah.
I don't know. Depends.
Yeah.
It's a tough one.
Oh, yeah,
especially at a bachelor party. I don't want to have that conversation.
Yeah.
I know
It's still-
I know he's gonna try to come up to me and say something, and I'm just gonna say, dude, we're not doing
Does
this
he
right
know?
now.
Does he know that you know all that stuff?
He's got to.
Yeah.
what I'm
Okay.
saying.
He's got to.
Where's the bachelor party? Do you have to fly?
It's in Arizona.
So you're gonna drive?
Yeah. no
Okay,
drive.
so the pennies as far as carry on wouldn't be an issue.
Yeah. I'm not gonna do that. I'll just
That's what I was
I'll give him 2 crisp ones and say, hey, dude, here we go. We're good on this end, but we're not good overall.
I'm just making sure that you're not gonna pay like $75
To
in
ship
bag
them.
fees.
I'll pay it. I'll pay it.
Yeah. Jesus.
I might be that petty.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Anything else you guys want to jump into?
I think
Any of mine? You guys think of?
Oh yeah, I did want to talk about the
Thank you.
treating people
how good
the
does
right
that
way.
beer look?
I know. It's fucked up, man.
To be a dickhead, it tastes even better.
The treating janitors type thing, and you touched on a little bit when you were talking about it, is the waiter waitress thing, because we work in the restaurant business. If you were a fucking asshole to a complete stranger, you're a real piece of shit. That person is doing
Yeah,
like,
for no reason.
You know the people that come in and they're just in a bad mood, and they're always in a bad mood, and you just fucking want to tell them, go eat a fucking dick, man.
Yep.
Go away. Or the people that come in, and it's just like, get the fuck out of here,
I
man.
thought this was well done.
Yeah,
It is
and
well done,
yeah,
motherfucker.
Yeah,
Like,
or
what
just
the fuck you
like,
talking about?
I think this goes back. This is all going back to restaurants. 'Cause
Yeah,
this is what
well,
we
that's
work
where
in.
it happens
This is
a
what,
lot.
this is what
Yeah.
happens in a lot. Every single person in life should have to work at a restaurant for a week.
I agree.
You should have to work in a restaurant for a week, and you will stop being such a cunt.
You would hope so, but
You
yeah.
will stop being such
I've got a
fucking
question.
asshole.
And this probably applies more to you, Ryan, because you haven't dated in a long time. Have you ever been on a date with somebody and they're really rude to
Yes.
a waiter? Is that not the biggest turnoff of all time?
I had 2 separate girlfriends that were a lot like that, and I should have known then. I was younger, but yeah, I should have known then. That, and then one of them would order for me or like hand.
Oh,
And I was
I don't
like,
like that.
really?
so the first time she did it, I was like, I can order. Don't ever order for me.
Yeah.
But then even after that, there'd be like little things like I'd get my beer, right? And there'd be too much head on it, in her opinion. And she'd be like, without asking me to be like, can you fill his beer up? And I'm just like,
Oh my
I
god!
hate
I would
that.
literally would have got up.
Dude, that's
I would have
bad.
slapped her in the face with a
I hate
$20
it.
bill and
That's
I
left.
hate it. And then I had another girl that I dated that was just an entitled, like
No.
a rough day in her life was
The worst.
her
thing of all
bag
time.
didn't come on the day that Amazon said it was going to be, you know.
No,
And yeah, like I said, should have known. But yeah, it's the worst. It's the worst. It's like
It's so miserable. It's like these. I mean, to your point, these people are just doing their job.
Oh yeah.
Like, okay, like I granted, we've all worked in the food industry, And
Peace.
See you guys.
see you, brother. We've all worked in the food industry, and I worked in the clothing industry, I guess. Worked at Kohl's, whatever.
Victoria's Secret.
Yeah, Victoria's Secret.
Seasonal job.
Awesome. Thongs, 50% off. Great perk. But I feel like when you work in the food industry, y'all kind of know the deal. Sometimes, like for example, I can go in a stadium and I know when they're short-staffed. And I could see the vibe on certain people's eyes. They're like, why is this taking so long? And I'm like, do you not understand there's 3 people back there? And do you understand how full the goddamn bar or the whole restaurant is?
People think
like,
they're the center of the universe, though.
Yes.
Yeah.
People think that they are the only person. Or I've gone into restaurants, same thing, and you see one girl, and she's waiting,
busting her ass.
She's waiting a quarter of a restaurant that's massive.
Yes.
And this is such a terrible thing to do. Like when you're out of water and like, God, they haven't been around in a long time. Do you fucking see that girl? She is literally running.
Yeah.
And I don't give a shit about you. Like that. You're not the center of the world. There's other people here.
I can guarantee we've all been in that situation. We've been sat down by a hostess or whoever it is. We're sitting there for 15 minutes.
Yeah.
No one's come up to us yet. And she finally comes up, and what is the first thing they do? They apologize.
Yeah.
They go, I'm so sorry. Like, it's busy.
Yeah.
And all of us, I know the 2 of you guys well enough to know that we would all say, hey, no worries.
Do
I
your
know
thing.
you're busy.
Yeah.
It's
Right.
cool. It's cool. Like, can we just order now? Because I know you're busy. Let's just wrap it up.
Make
and-
this easy.
Yeah, let's just do it. And at the same time, let's say you go, I want ranch with my side of, whatever,
Wings or
hot
whatever,
wings.
yeah.
And then I've done it where I go, shit, I forgot to ask her for mustard. I won't ask her for mustard.
Yeah.
Because I know that she's got to go
Yeah.
do her shit and run back. I'll just go, you know what? I'll bite the bullet. Like, whatever.
The worst is when like you're busy and like you're serving or whatever, and it's just blatantly obvious that you're
Slammed.
understaffed,
Yeah.
slammed, and someone goes to order and they're like, well, like, what's your favorite thing?
Dude, that's the worst.
I don't really know. Do you think I should do this or
Yeah.
this, or does it come with this? And that's fatiguing.
That's
So I work at Stadium, which is a pizza place, if nobody knows. But when I get called on the phone and there's 4 lines up and there's a fucking line and I'm on the make table, I'm the one and I have to answer a phone and they go, what kind of toppings do you have? And I go, I literally just want to go, have you ever fucking had pizza before? Like, have you ever had pizza before?
We have moose tail.
Pizza
Yeah.
is the easiest thing on the fucking planet to order. Like, get up, like, know what you're, or you go, like, and you get to the front of the line and you go,
Yeah.
it's like, dude, you can't miss. Just order something. You
What about
literally
this
can't,
one?
You can't miss.
They got like 4 people,
Yeah.
and 2 of them are kids under the age of 9. They go, what do you want, Jimmy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What looks good here?
Yeah.
And there's a line out the door. You
Oh
go,
my God.
fuck Jimmy.
Yeah.
You're
order
gonna
for
get
him.
sausage,
Yeah,
and you're
order
gonna
for
like
him.
it.
You
If you don't
order
like
for
it, take it off.
Yeah, you order for him.
I have this thought on food specifically. So I think with food, because we all eat food, there's people that think that they're automatically an expert in food.
Oh, yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
not the case.
No.
Like, just because I can see colors doesn't mean I can be a paint technician at Home Depot.
Yeah.
Right? But you get the people. We had a lady the other day. She's sitting down and she orders her burger. And we do burgers at temp. So most people know medium rare, medium well, all that shit. She goes, I just want it normal. Okay, that's fine. Like,
The fuck is that?
we can help you through that. Like, what that, we can figure out what you need.
Yeah.
But then she turns around and complains about her nachos. And I saw the nachos, and they were fine. There was
Not enough cheese?
no. She said that they were burnt. And so we,
Burnt nachos?
we put our nachos in the oven, and there's little pieces of cheese that get crusty on the plate, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm just sitting there, and then that's when I had this epiphany that everyone thinks they're an expert in food just because they eat it. And it's like, lady, you ordered your burger normal, and you're gonna complain about this? And it's just like like you said, they think they're the center of the universe.
Yeah.
They think it's like it's so frustrating.
There also needs to be that, like, people, okay, there's the people that mistakes are going to happen.
Of course.
Absolutely.
We're humans. We're working fast. We're working fast-paced, and mistakes are going to happen. It's inevitable.
Yep.
How you deal with those things is a whole nother story.
Says the world about
Like
the
and
person
just-
you're dealing with.
Yeah, and just come and just
It
to
really
be a
does.
complete asshole about it is like, when have you? Okay, so this whole day or this whole week, you didn't make one mistake. You're telling me that like you were perfect. You're not. Fuck off. People make mistakes. It's gonna be okay.
Yeah.
It's gonna be okay.
You'll
There's
live.
people. I have one story about a fucking douchebag guy in the restaurant business when we went to Vegas. That fucking guy.
When we stay at the M.
When we stayed at the M and we went across the street to that pizza place, and that
Oh my God.
fucking guy.
Fuck,
Okay,
yeah.
so this is
Oh
a
my
guy
God,
that
I
deserves
forgot
to
about
get
that.
shit on.
I
Okay,
forgot
so
about that.
I've worked in I've ran it for a long time. There's certain ways you go about things as a owner or a bit restaurant. You know, you deal with things certain ways. You deal with people. We walked into this bar, right? We sit down, no big deal. We're sitting there. The guy comes up and Tybo's dad goes, "I'll take a Miller Lite." Guy goes, "We're out of Miller Lite." Okay, no problem. And he goes, and
Oh,
then
not the M. You're talking about when we.
we went across the street.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
That guy was the biggest fucking asshole ever.
He worked there?
He
Or-
worked
okay,
there. He was
okay.
he was working the bar. We went in. We were gonna have food and drinks, whatever. His wife Jen goes, "Can I get the next beer?" And he goes, "We're out of that too." Instead of going, "Sorry guys, like, blah blah blah," he
All right,
goes.
can I-
He literally goes, "We're a high volume restaurant," just like that.
All right.
And I'm
can
like,
I would
what-
like to
what
tell
the
that story in a different.
fuck does that even
in
mean?
a different way.
What the
you, you didn't do that guy enough justice for how much of a cocksucker he was.
Yeah, he was a cocksucker.
Like, Miller Lite, Bud Light, Coors Light. I think every reasonable person, especially in Vegas, could understand that you should have those beers.
Yeah.
I
And
mean,
if you
I-
don't,
At least one of them.
And if you don't,
you have a reason. You go, "I'm sorry.
I'm so sorry.
I'm sorry."
So Dad goes, Miller Lite. He goes, nope, out of that.
Yeah. Yeah, just like that too.
Nope, we're out. Oh, okay. Well, can I get like a 805? Oh no, we're out of that too.
And then
Well, so
Yeah.
what's a reasonable person's next question? So what
What
do
do you
you
have?
have?
Yeah.
And he goes, well, we got our tap list right here. And goes, okay, well, fuck your tap list.
Yeah, tell me what
Two
I-
out of your first 8 are gone.
Yeah.
And then we go. So then when you say what do you have, he goes, well, we're a high volume restaurant. It's a busy time. It's March Madness.
instead of just going, "Sorry, man," like
Yeah.
we ran out. Like
Yeah.
instead of taking ownership and going,
Yeah.
"My bad."
yeah, so we
He
sat
did-
there.
we literally, where I was like, "Dude, I can't eat here."
Yeah, we're like, fuck
Like,
this.
I can't eat here. And
We're
he get
out.
up and he goes, "Well, you guys don't want anything?"
Like, no.
Like, no, we're good.
Yeah.
Like we're good. And I mean, we
Well,
weren't
fuck.
rude or anything. We got up and we left.
No.
But it's like, why react that way? Like you're just asking. Like if I did that when somebody I genuinely messed up.
And by the way,
And
there
I
was
go-
like
and I literally-
10 people. There was like 10 people in
Yeah,
there.
and
at
I'm
the
a
time.
and I'm a complete dick about like, oh, yeah, you ordered fucking this. Yeah, well, hey, fuck,
Yeah.
like
That's such a good, like, it's kind of a shame because that's such a good opportunity for that guy to actually get a better tip from you guys, because if he handled that and like, okay, your dad asked for the first beer, sorry, we're out of that one, is there anything else that you like? And so the second one, he's like, and he kind of makes a joke like, oh man,
Oh,
you're 0 for
shit,
2.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
it's been a tough
Literally
week for
could've
us
done that.
too. Like,
So
we've been
easy.
getting, we've been getting
his
slammed.
face was just so stupid too when he said it. Like it was
Yeah.
just like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah,
Like,
and
do
then,
not-
and then at that point, you take the initiative and say, okay, we have these that are probably the closest to that. That's
Yeah.
what we got. I'm sorry,
yeah.
guys.
Any sort of other
got
response.
limited
than,
bullets in
Yeah,
the
man, I'm a
gun."
high volume restaurant. Like just boosting yourself for being out of
He was
something.
braggadocious, yeah.
He was bragging about being out of something. I'm like, that's fine, man. I get it, man. I'm busy. I run out of Coors Light. Sometimes I run out of Bud Light.
Yeah.
But at that same time, when I go, oh shit, sorry, dude. Like, can I get you something else? Can I get? And
Anyth-
I
yeah.
make suggestions towards that, and I go, hey, I know we don't have Miller Lite, but we do have this.
Right.
We do. It's like
That's called customer service.
It blows my mind that a guy like that. I mean,
In
I mean,
Vegas.
I
yeah.
don't know
And I
if
get
I've
it,
ever
you
been
prob-
more turned off
Yeah,
by.
you probably do deal with a bunch of shitheads, but it was
We
fucking
were-
10 in the morning. We were sober. Like, it wasn't like we were walking in.
You were
you know.
sober at 10 in the morning?
Well, I mean,
No, I was
definitely
drunk.
hungover.
I was
yeah.
drunk at 10 in the morning.
And then we proceeded to go back to our hotel, and I drank like 90 mimosas
Jesus. I can't
from a
do
bar
that.
that said, "What kind of mimosa do you want?"
That's-
I don't care. One that
that's
has alcohol in it.
Headache-ville, bro.
Yeah.
So, I want to go back to the treat the janitor thing. just for 1 second.
What
'cause
was it?
I want to vent.
Treat the janitor.
Janitor,
like,
same way
Oh,
the
yeah,
CEO.
yeah.
Is that a wrong thing for me to be upset about when she told me to smile? Should I hold that grudge? Or should I
No.
should I
No.
forgive and
No.
I think that's an overstepper.
I don't like that.
Yeah, that's
I don't
an
like when people
overstepper.
tell you to do that.
But
It's
why
like,
does it
that's an
bother you so
overstepper.
much?
Because you don't know what the fuck I'm going through. Like, I mean, I couldn't
So,
fucking...
I mean, playing devil's advocate, when you ask someone how they're doing and they tell you how they're doing, like, you don't know what the fuck they're going through. Maybe they just
Yeah.
need someone to talk to.
True.
Maybe she was trying to brighten your day by just getting you to smile.
Do you watch Curb Your Enthusiasm?
If you knew this lady, yes.
But yeah,
Have
what's
you
a,
se-
what's
have
a
you-
track record?
Have you seen the one where the Larry David? Well, Larry David's a great example of anything. 'Cause
Larry David's a...
do you watch Curb Your Enthusiasm or no?
No.
Oh, you should. It's like The Office on. I mean.
I think
he
it's
is-
better than The Office.
It's just different. It's more cussing and stuff. But there's Larry David is a creator of Seinfeld, and he plays himself in the TV show. But there's the one. I mean, he has all these things that happen to him that are fucking crazy because he's just himself. He's fucking quirky. He has these weird things. There's this lady walking, and she goes, "Hey," smiling. He looks at her. He goes, "Hey, fuck you." And he's like turns around and he says it again. He goes, "No, fuck you." Like, and he was like, and he's like super offended by it. Like, he's so offended by it, and like. In the show, you're like, fuck, you're like cringing.
You're
like,
cringing,
God.
dude, you're cringing.
He does, you watch that show and you're cringing the whole time. Like, please don't do that. Like, fuck.
He
But
does
he does it.
everything you
Yeah.
tell him not to do.
Yeah.
But
Oh, yeah.
that... I feel like I'm Larry David, and that
Yeah,
bums...
I do think you are.
That bums me
Yeah, I
out
do
as a
think you are.
28-year-old.
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck, dude, I'm Larry David.
Yeah.
Like,
He go-
those little...
Yeah.
Does this lady have a track record with
Um,
you?
she did one time. I was clearly waiting for the coffee machine. Like, clearly waiting.
Oh, you got
this
you got
is like
points
a-
on her.
She was...
This is like
she
an
was...
episode of The
You,
Office.
you know, bro, she was cleaning it. And this is exactly why I'm like Larry David. Like, I walk up. I'm just trying to get my coffee. And she's cleaning the coffee thing. And you got a job to do. All right, I get it. But she's taking her sweet-ass time. And, you know, she, like, leaves stuff to where I can't go in there and do my coffee. And, like, in Larry David fashion, I'd kind of, like, try to sneak in there. And she'd come right back in front of me. And I'd kind of step back. And I'd give a weird look. And I'm like, okay, no self-awareness. All right, cool. We're hanging out. But, yeah, she does that stuff.
You,
She
ha-
just...
you have to watch Curb.
So she's kind of like a gnat.
Am I really that much like Larry
You're
David?
kind of like you do have a lot of quirks
Yeah,
about you,
I'm
like
a-
things
I'm
that
a-
are not
Just
necessarily
kinda piss me off.
unreasonable, but they're unreasonable in some people's.
So a great example is this is perfect for me. Like, I mean, not perfect because
Oh, I have such a good one.
I'm a civilized human being. But he goes to buy some sunglasses for a gift. He goes, all right, can I get these gift wrapped? She goes, no, you have to go to, you have to get, wrapping paper. He goes, okay, so where do I get wrapping paper? I don't know, like a gift wrapping place. He goes, okay, so once I get the wrapping paper, like, how do I cut it? Like, do they sell scissors there? I don't know if they sell scissors. What about a bow? Like, do they have a bow? No, I'm not. You might have to go somewhere else. And
He also
well,
digs himself into these holes.
He does, and he goes, well, what about a card? Or she suggests, she goes, well, you should get him a card too. He goes, well, where do I get the card? He goes, all right, so now I got to go somewhere. I just bought the glasses. I got to get wrapping paper, and they don't sell the scissors. And where do I go get the card? Where is there one place where I can get all this stuff? Well, I don't know. She just eventually gets fed up with him, but he gets so fired up.
Yeah,
Are these real people, or is she an actor too?
She's
They're
an actress,
but
Yeah,
it's
it's
like
he's
based
playing
on.
It's just
himself.
good scenes.
Yeah.
He there's a one where this is
think
like
I've
one thing.
seen
with-
a couple
he,
scenes.
What do you think the
It's-
best Larry David connection to me would be?
I'm gonna look up.
Exactly what I was about to say.
Okay.
There's a one where he holds a door for a lady.
Oh, that's so mean.
He holds
That's-
he holds a door for a lady, and she doesn't say thank you.
Oh, I hate
That's
that.
me to a T.
So he literally holds it, he holds the
yeah.
door open, and then she walks by and he like looks at her and he's like he also is the guy.
I've seen a couple scenes.
You have to watch it.
It's
It's
so-
such a
it's so
fucking great show.
It's
But
so great.
this girl walks by and he goes like, oh fuck me, right?
That's exactly what I would say.
And he's like,
I
and
want to
it-
do that in real life all the
Oh,
time.
and he just has all these things about him that are a lot like you, like where he just things that would maybe
I just
tick you
normal
off-
people
tick
would let
you
it
off-
slide.
tick you off a little bit, but he just can't let things go.
I don't let that go. If I hold the door open for someone and they don't say thank you, I say you're welcome.
I
I'm
give
I'm very polite. Yeah.
I give a loud you're,
You're
welcome.
welcome.
I give a loud
Yeah, yeah,
you're
yeah.
welcome. You're welcome.
Yeah.
And they give you that look like I'm the asshole somehow.
Yeah. Exactly.
Fuck you.
That might be my favorite TV show of all time. Now that I'm
That's
thinking.
so
I haven't watched it in a long time because there hasn't been a lot of seasons on, but it's just
So
so
good.
fucking
It's so good.
Tybo, I think you need to let go of your resentment towards your smile
Fran.
lady.
What's that?
I think you need to let go of your resentment.
Next time you
towards the
see her, just
smile
give her a
lady.
big smile.
Just
Should
say,
I?
I'm finally smiling.
Should I look like Jim Carrey in The Mask and
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
fucking just totally cheese it out?
Smoking.
That would be
All
fun.
No,
right.
I really should, but that really pisses. Don't tell a person to smile. Fuck that, dude.
Yeah, that
Like,
is. I mean,
go fuck yourself.
I see where you're coming from, but I just feel like
Go
every
fuck
time
yourself.
you see her, you're just
Mine's
like,
also
I-
hard.
now-
if
yeah,
she
now
said
I
it,
get a little
if she said it to
mad.
me, I'd be like, you just can't see it, bitch.
I'm a little more angsty
Yeah.
than I normally would be.
I'm cheery right now.
I know I can't see you smiling at all.
All right, so next
Anything
week
else?
we
don't
don't
know.
have a topic yet, but if you guys have one, we have a couple entries that are really good that we're still tossing around.
Okay. Can we give a couple of those just so people know what they're up against? Is that, or
we
should
were
we not? Or should we
thinking-
hold on to them?
Let's hold on to them.
Yeah, we'll
I
hold
like
on,
that.
and we'll yeah.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, we're trying to go a little lighter next week. So
Yeah,
if you
next
have
week's
If you
gonna
any,
have
be
something
light.
funny, you know,
yeah, if you have any suggestions, slide into Tybo's DMs.
Slide in. It's been a minute.
He would just to know what it feels like. Again. I love it. All right, you
all right,
guys
everybody
good?
get to work. You're owed fucking nothing.
Nada.
Nothing. Nobody's coming to save you other than yourself. Get your life together.
All right.
Get up.
Take
That
it
was
easy, you
that was
fuckers.
strong.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. See you, fuckers.